Welcome to Patrick Roberts, our new timeline.
Hey, how's everybody doing? Um, I have Cammy coming in right away, um, so I will bring her up right now. Magical
Hi,
Cammy.
everybody. I'm eating dinner.
So she while she finished eating, we will start talking. So, anyways, what's up, guys? This is a new year. Oh boy,
Happy
what's
New
in
Year.
Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome Annette and Mr. Kermit. Annette says, "When are you coming back to go swimming in that pool?" Yeah, hey, that swimming pool. You know, I don't have hardly any photos. Um, I hardly have any photos that I can use for. Well, I set it up pretty fast too, but anyways, I seen them photos, and I don't know, I just put it up there. Uh, but yeah, that was from my time with Annette over there, going to one of the, I think it's a hotel or something. They have an eatery downstairs, and they have a bath or what did we do there? Went in the bathtubs, I think, like hot tub type things, healing type. It was fun, and then we got to eat a pizza, which was no meat, veggie pizza type thing. I think it was about the first time I ever had a veggie pizza. Anyways, so yeah, the photo doesn't really match like the New Year type thing, but I guess if you want to look at, hey, everything's gonna be fun and relaxing for 2024. It's whatever you bring in your reality, right? Um, so welcome, Cammy. I think she's still eating. So
I had myself muted. Sorry.
oh, that's okay. So
My roommate's cooking too.
how was your Christmas and New Year's?
Very low key. I just had my kid over and he got drunk and I made spaghetti. New
Oh
Year's,
yeah,
I slept through because I had to work both New Year's Eve and New Year's Day all day.
yeah. I was surprised. For some sort of weird. I thought New Year's Day, like lots of things used to be closed. Like almost everything was closed on New Year's Day.
Almost everything was closed except for my work.
No, here everything was open. Walmart was open, Dollar General was open, McDonald's, you name it, from Pizza Hut. They were all open today. I'm like, what in the heck? That's awfully weird, isn't it? Because I thought on this day, the first, no, normally everything was closed. I thought that's the way it used to be.
Used
I
to
don't
be.
know. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's the kind of memory that I have, is that you had to shop, get your shopping done before New Year's, because New Year's Day there wasn't going to be anything open. Same with Christmas Eve. You had to get everything you needed because everything was going to close down early Christmas Eve, and nothing open on Christmas Day.
Now it's just government institutions, so you can't like make the government work or banks work.
Yeah. Well, most of the places that were open today were pretty much the non-essential that stayed open when I mean, you had your big like Walmart chains that stayed open during all that. You had your main gas stations that stayed open, and a couple eateries that were open. A few big chain eateries.
Around here, almost everything closed. We were one of the only grocery stores open,
Yeah,
which
I
is
mean
why my
that's
boss
what
opens because he doesn't like everybody having to go to 7-Eleven.
that's the way I thought it was supposed to be around here. That's why I didn't even go anywhere today, and decided to go out and I had to go pick something up.
Oh,
I'm trying to think what time that was. About 4 o'clock, 4:30, and so I was driving downtown and stuff, and I'm like, "The hell is everything doing open?" I'm like thinking, "What day is it today?" I thought I lost my days. I'm like,
no, it's New
the
Year's Day.
first. It's the first. I thought everything was closed.
Some places were open, but just nothing
Well, I expected the gas
substantial.
stations to be open. That's about it.
McDonald's was open here, Walmart, us, and a lot of the corner stores.
Yeah.
But
Are Easter eggs in the shops yet? Welcome, Sluggo. Easter eggs. Oh, no, they're doing Valentine's already. A lot of people, like Walmart, has got their Valentine shit out already.
they're always one season ahead. Until it comes to Halloween, in which they skip Veterans Day or Remembrance Day completely.
That
They
looks
just
pretty
jump
good.
right
I'm
into it.
all, I'm all out of that stuff.
Hi, Thomas. Apparently, he's been a butthead all day.
Thomas the cat. Thomas the cat. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know what to tell you about as far as being around normies. I feel I know exactly what you go through now dealing with the public all the time. And and I got the worst of it though cuz my people are drunk on top of
I would
being
rather drunk than high on whatever it is they take on the streets now. That's what I get mostly. And then all the regular people and the drunk people. These drunk
yeah.
people, you know what to expect. They're either going to be happy or depressed or angry. Depressed, you can make happy again. Angry, you sort of help them work through it if you can.
How do you make how do you make depressed people happy again?
Take them out of their own head. They're focusing on all of their own fucking problems. So you got to say
No, I
something
just
so
showed
stupid
you
and off the
how
wall
to get I just showed you how to
that it
get
makes
depressed.
them go, what the hell? Or it makes them laugh or whatnot. And then they feel a little bit better, but then you need to break that constant buzz of
Hey,
depression.
this is some sort of alien. You ever see that alien?
Oh, Nanu Nanu?
No, the one I'm doing.
No. If it wasn't Mork and Mindy's alien, then no.
It's a buck. Shoot him.
That's a moose. Just saying. Moose are the
Sluggo.
ones that have the wide antlers.
No, you
They're also
didn't.
huge.
It's the head. No, you go. Oh, I'm sorry. I sent you Valentine's gift already, and it's 2 months away. I assumed that it was Valentine's Day because Walmart was selling stuff. Um,
It's coming, but not for 2 months. Well, a month and a bit.
oh, hey, I got this hat from my daughter for Christmas.
Oh, right on.
It's like Vodfly. I never heard of it before. VGOGFLY. I don't know, but it's definitely a nice thick hat that keeps me warm. That's for sure. Um, and then she got me. Oh, if I can reach this beef jerky that is, it's got like little sayings like the it'll take somebody out of history or something. Like this one's Bourbon Franklin. You see how is this thing is this cow or whatever? I don't know what it is. A bull.
Oh,
A
I
bull.
can't see anything on my little tiny phone screen. You are so little.
Right. Oh.
It doesn't matter how big you make it, because if you took up the whole side of your screen, that would still be too small for me to read the print. I'm a
Here we go.
blind old lady.
Solo layout. So, anyways, this is the Bourbon Franklin beef jerky, and this thing came with like I don't know, 9 or 10 samples of these different jerkies. This
Oh,
is
jerky is always good, though.
truff truffle bill, truffle bill,
Oh, truffle. So mushroom.
and one of my favorite ones is this one right here is the Balboa. Teriyaki Balboa. But yeah, she bought me this stuff that is really good. Marilyn Marilyn Monroe, Maryland Monroe, and then I think this is I'm not sure. I think it's the old like OG Kush or something like this. Maybe this is the OG Hickory.
Hickory's good too.
Yeah. Oh my God, this is this is my favorite. The the hot habanero.
Habanero. Should try
Yeah.
mixing that with a sweet one. Hot and sweet is good together. They actually
Mm.
make that up here too.
This is bootleg and barbecue.
Oh,
That's pretty good too.
see, she set you up good.
Soul Survivor, and then it has like little sayings down here. You know, like it's a Korean barbecue inspired stash with a sesame slash,
Oh, that'd be good.
and then the Rocky Balboa. Where is that one? Trying to see. I wanted to read what's in the Rocky Balboa. It's a tangy teriyaki with a punch of pepper. With a punch of pepper. Poof. Yeah. So yeah, that was pretty good. This
Sounds
jerky,
good.
I'm like, this jerky is gonna last me a while. It's like, even though there's sample packets, there's a lot in there's a lot in each packet. And I already opened them all up because my daughter and I tried them all on Christmas Day, or Christmas Eve. No, it was, yeah, it was Christmas Day. We were supposed to hang out for the day, but I got a text early that morning that her mom had a heart attack.
Oh
Uh,
no.
Christmas morning. Yeah, so they ended up taking her like 45 minutes away to another town. So I told my daughter, I'm like, just go by your mom. She needs you right now you know, more than us just going out and having, you know, dinner and stuff like that. I figured, or lunch or whatever. And I figured it was just more important for her to spend it with her mom, you know. And so so my daughter ended up spending, you know, the whole day in Wausau with her mom on Christmas Day, with everything, happening. She's doing fine, by the way. She's doing
Good,
fine.
good, good. Was going to
Yeah.
be one of my questions is, do we know how she's doing?
Yeah. I'm not sure of everything, of exactly what happened, or if she's got a. Um, I know she mentioned something about that she's gonna have to go in and have some, like a stress test or something done, or they want to do some sort of stress test on her. So she's got that whole leg of stuff that she's gonna have to take care of.
So
You know.
she's like freaked out.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess they
Which is
actually
not
told her.
conducive for staying calm and not making yourself stressed out.
Yeah, they actually told her boyfriend that if they would have not gotten her there 15 minutes later, she probably wouldn't have been around. Um, and it makes me think, what would I do in that circumstance if I felt like I was having a heart attack? Would I just would I try to do something about it, or would I just, because my trust in doctors have completely gone downhill? So, I don't know. I don't think it would really matter if I went in or if I just dealt with it. Um,
Want to know
and,
what I think on it?
huh?
I think if you trust Jesus, then you
Well,
trust
that's
Jesus to guide
that's
the
the
hands of
thing.
any doctor that you happen to go see.
Yeah. Well, well,
Just
no,
pray
that's the thing is
earnestly as you get
I
yourself there that you run into a doctor who will take you seriously and do what's in your best interest, and that you're leaving it in his hands, and that you're going to do
yeah,
your
but
best to seek help and
there's a
live because
doctor.
he wants you to prize your life. So, but
Why
as
would I use
you
a doctor? That would be putting my trust in man, wouldn't it?
no, you're putting your trust in Jesus' hands to guide the hands of the doctor and the heart of the doctor,
Yeah, I guess I didn't think of it that way. You know.
because you're also supposed to be prizing your life. Your life is not something to be toyed with. That was a gift from God. And if you just throw it away, you're kind of throwing away his gift to you. So you're
Hmm.
supposed to want to live as long as you can. And
Well,
that
I
if it's
certainly wouldn't.
ultimately your time, then let me go. But if not, then please guide this doctor's hands to get me to where I need to be safely for you, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, life is, but
But for I
I
use
think,
doctors for life and death emergencies. When you break a bone, you serious
but
gash, and
that,
you have to actually go get stitched up so
but
you don't
also
die.
that's for people that want to carry on their lives. I don't live in the fear of dying, so I just, if it
No, but you
happens,
shouldn't be actively seeking dying either, because committing
well,
suicide and or giving up your life is not.
I didn't say I was actively seeking dying. It happens to whatever happens. You know,
Kind
that's
of,
what.
but if you're doing completely unhealthy things to drag yourself down, like say, I'll throw myself under the bus, smoking marijuana, and then say I have breathing problems. If I'm
Mm,
not seeking to help myself some, then why should he? I'm actively trying to hurt myself at this point, which is why I know I have to quit smoking. But the difference is so if I'm giving up my life that he's given me, then that's like slapping him in the face. So if you know you're having something that can be corrected and you don't seek to correct it, then that's as bad as actively trying to commit suicide.
No, I don't believe that because you smoke. I mean, you
That's why I
wouldn't you
said
want
I'm
to
the first
stop?
person to throw myself under the bus. I have to quit smoking.
Right, but
If I
so should he give up on you because you're not
He's
going
not
through?
giving up on me. He's just I'm not
That's
actively
useless.
seeking.
I'm saying what you just said.
Right, but here's the difference. If I'm not actively seeking to have his help, and to have his help, that means you have to stop committing the sin that is causing the issue. And if you're having issue with it, then you know it's sin. That's usually how that works. If it's fucking something up in your life, then it's probably not helping, and it's not something you're supposed to be doing. Yes, you can learn a lesson out of it, but if you want to get past it, you have to stop doing it. Just like if you are diabetic and you continue to eat sugar until the day you die, you are guilty of killing yourself because you knew you were diabetic, you knew sugar was going to kill you, and you continued to eat it until you died anyway.
Oh,
Usually
that
of insulin shock and coma and blah, 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 blah.
that's crazy.
That
That's
would
crazy
be a
stuff.
form of committing suicide.
No, come on, Jiminy Crickets. That's like telling somebody who has cancer because they can't get rid of cancer, they should deserve to.
No, because you
It,
can choose not to eat sugar and not have an insulin attack. You can't choose to just not have cancer.
everything has sugar in it. Everything,
No, not everything has that kind of sugar in it. There
yes.
are proteins that do not metabolize to sugar and balance out at zero. You really need to watch that TED thingy that I sent you. You would understand what I'm talking about. There are foods that do not send you into blood sugar shock. Everybody who needs insulin is because their body does not produce their own insulin and they're insulin resistant. Your body doesn't react
Yeah, but
properly to it, which is
they're
why you keep having
some
to up
sort
the
of
dosage,
sugar.
usually, especially if you're
Meat,
eating sugar. Most
meat,
doctors will keep sugar products in your diet so they can keep you on insulin because that makes them money. If you actually just remove the sugar from your diet, now that's all starches and all
okay,
actual
right.
sugars.
We're gonna change the subject.
You can
Change the subject.
not be on insulin and live a perfectly healthy life. Is it comfortable? No, for the first 3 months, it sucks like monkey butt because sugar is the number one most addictive substance in the world. I will not deny that, but it is possible.
But there is not a food on this planet that does not have sugar.
There
Everything
is
has
food on
sugar.
this planet that has sugar your body will accept because it's not processed. So you can eat meats and most vegetables, with the exclusion of cucumbers and tomatoes, without even thinking about it. Because there is not enough sugar for it to spike. You would have to eat so much your body would explode first. And then there's foods that with very little bit of it, it spikes your sugar to a great enormous amount. Those are starches and
Yeah,
things with
no,
refined sugar.
and I wasn't even talking about meats. Obviously, meat is like something else. But if you're not, if you don't like to eat meat, don't want to eat meat, then where does that leave you?
Then that leaves you a vegan, and you'd better learn the recipe from the Bible for God's bread because that in itself has all of the amino acids, if you make the recipe that it says for humans to consume, that turns into a simple protein that your body can turn into any protein and you can sustain yourself on it.
You know what I think the best thing to do is not eat at all. Don't eat nothing,
Well, then
and
you starve to death, and that would be
just
committing
keep on.
suicide because you're not eating at all.
No, no.
Yes, there are people that have tried that. They die
Do you think you
eventually.
can live
Yes.
on water? You don't think you can live on water?
You can't live on water alone, no.
I don't know how we got off on this tangent over here, but today
You
is
can fast on
Saturday.
water for quite long periods of time, but you cannot live solely
But
on water. There isn't people who are 10 years only on water and still
listen to
here. No.
We wanted to hear from you.
Can you
That
get 90 days on water? Well, if you're not anorexic to start
it's,
with,
I've always said
potentially.
yes. From the whole time I have done this live streams, I've always had guests. Because I can't sit up here and just mumble jumble. I'd rather talk to
I'm gonna take
somebody
a shot.
because it feels
Okay.
like I'm talking to myself. If I'm up here by myself, and I don't have that much to say to give you more than a few minutes of you know, hey Rick, what's up? Annette says she'll catch up with us later. um, so Rick, do you remember Rick?
Oh, I remember Rick.
Yeah. How you been doing, Rick?
Rick.
No, are you still
I'd actually
homeless?
go over to chat to see.
No. Hopefully, you would have a place by now. Um, Geez, I haven't seen. Thought Crunchy would be in here by now. But
He
anyways,
was live
I've been
streaming last I saw.
doing live streams and stuff. It's just that there's really nothing to say that already hasn't been said. You know, it just seems like whenever I do a live stream, it's like the same stuff over and over and over. And that gets kind of boring after a while. Matter of fact, every even people's live streams that I used to watch, you know, well, I
Sure.
still do watch some of them, you know, and they just I don't know, people maybe I switched over to another timeline recently, but it sure seems like people have changed again. Um, I'm trying to give you a example of like there's a lot of people on here that I used to watch that I feel like everybody is like in and this has even been said many times before in like a loop, and I'm watching this fucking loop come around every time, and even the news and other things are coming out with shit that happened years ago,
Yes, it's a
but
perpetual loop.
in the same way, the
Uh-huh.
same.
News
I'm
from
trying.
40 years ago, if you turned it on, would sound like news from today. It would look crappier because of the cameras back then, but the same shit will have been happening. There'll be a potential war somewhere that's going on. There'll be a disease they're worried about. They'll be worried about famine, and they'll be talking about something about the climate. And it just repeats and repeats. And
Even the small time crimes
uh,
that they will talk about on the news repeats itself too.
well,
I'm
yeah,
trying
they
to.
brought back racism and they brought back
Well, I'm trying to
classism,
think of
and
a
it's all
particular.
recycling and repeating.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think of this particular crime that took place. I heard it on the news when I was in the bar. I heard it on the news, and I'm like, man, I could have swore that this happened 20 years ago. You know, like and they bringing it back out again, like they're reusing it. That's what it feels like, is they're reusing lots of their
They are, well, kind of
new.
like how they remake all the Disney movies because they don't have anything new to inspire them. They redo the crimes, new actors, but it's the exact same crime because there's nothing new under the sun. That's the thing, is there's nothing new under the sun. Everything that's happened has happened before, will happen again until the cycle comes to an end,
What
which
did Rick
hopefully this is the
say?
last cycle. Please.
What did Rick say? Does Does that say in a rot or in? Is he trying to say root, in a rut, or in a rat?
I
I
think
think
he
he's
said
trying to
rot,
say,
but I think he meant rut.
yeah, in a rut. Hmm. That's what I thought. Yeah. So how do we get out of this fucking loop? I mean, I'm out of it. I think because I see it, but I'm not really out of it. I'm still in it. I don't.
Because until your time here has ended and you don't know why you're here, so you don't know if you're done your job yet, but guess who does know? And apparently we're not done yet. There's
Yeah.
something that we're here for. I don't know if it's whether to be the ones that just verbally stand up and don't waver. Um, I don't know if it's
Well, I
because we're
mean,
about to get
I think
rewarded a little bit first here before we get to move on. Like, I don't know.
a nuclear fucking war, or they're so afraid that Putin's gonna come over here and blow our fucking heads off, or China or whatever.
Be
And
moderately on alert for that, but don't freak out like they want you to freak out for nuclear war, because it's not what you think it is. It's not nearly as dangerous as they've been telling us it is. Because
if
Japan
any,
wouldn't exist if that was the case, and it was as dangerous as they told us it was with all that radiation that lingers forever. Japan couldn't exist. So the
if
fact that
anything's
Japan
gonna
is
happen,
thriving,
the internet's gonna go down, and that would wipe people out just in itself.
yeah. Oh, the freak out of the youth that are mentally unstable, that'll be the best way I can put that. That's not super offensive, is what's going to be the most disabling thing in North America. Don't get me wrong, all the other stuff is moderate threats, and anybody who physically gets hit, like whatever town gets hit, okay, yeah, is gonna have some serious immediate issues, and death and destruction. I'm not saying that it doesn't kill. I'm just saying it's not nearly as potently, you have to stay away, dangerous as they said it is. I think that's for land grabs for the elites because Japan couldn't exist if it was that radioactive. It just simple facts. Um, and it's thriving and populated and
Wasn't it Tokyo that just had an earthquake, or was it
well,
Japan?
Japan had an earthquake. I'm not sure exactly where, but it when I looked on the map this morning, it was on the inner side, ocean side, where it's Japan and China.
Well, I knew, yeah, and they were mentioning something about the first tsunami wave hit, but there may be a second bigger one coming. And if that comes, everybody,
It would
they're
have come
telling
already.
it would have.
It would have come already.
When did the
Japan isn't
earthquake
that
happen?
far. This morning, they would have had it within a couple hours at best. So what they have is now what they have, unless they have another earthquake, they're good.
Hmm.
And it's not headed for North America because it was in the ocean that's between them and China. Them and China were what
Oh,
got nailed.
why? I'm sorry, I forgot to remove myself.
Oh, that's
Whoops,
fine.
I just removed myself.
Everybody's just listening to a disembodied voice.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
there.
like, what? Why the hell am I still up there by myself?
Because you are the center of attention, Pat.
Yeah. Hey, I would be happy just like
Mm,
that.
me too.
But I don't know. For me, I feel like I'd rather, if I'm gonna if I'm gonna listen to somebody, I'd rather see them instead of looking at a picture of them.
Well, you'll get people going, what do you have to hide behind your little circle? If you always have your circle and then you're
Oh,
talking
yeah,
any sort of truth, anything, though, you're hiding. And it's like, no, I'm not.
yeah, I know.
Mm.
Um, Not that I don't like being on, specifically on the camera, but
I
I'm to the point
hate
where they
cameras
might
with a
have some
passion, but
situation.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I don't really care.
You can't
I
avoid him at this
used,
point in time anyway. Camera on, camera off, it's still recording you, so you might as well put it on some of the time and enjoy some of it.
yeah, I mean, I used to care about. I mean, I still do care about what you know.
Well, back when you had the illusion of privacy and you thought that it was only on when you turned it on.
Yeah, right.
And once you give up on caring that the stupid people always turn it on and off, then that's when you start becoming freer because it doesn't really matter.
I used
They
to
already
put
know what you
black
look
tape
like.
over. Yeah, I used
Well,
to
I
put
do for
black.
some things if I'm got it in the bedroom and I don't have it in the shelf where it's just blocked and I'm going to be taking some clothes off, I still will either put something over the camera or something just because, I'm not going to make it easy for them.
Uh,
So I'll still do that, but usually I just slide it in a little shelf where they get to look at a piece of wood and go ahead, turn on the audio recording. If you listening to me undressing is good enough for you, then so be it. I don't think there's
but
much to listen to other than me yelling at my cats because they want to play with everything. So you take something off, toss it on the floor, and all of a sudden that's the newest toy. So it's like, stop playing with the shirt, stop playing with the socks.
this is what
They
I'm
want to hear
doing
that?
90% of the time. Oh, that looks like fun. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Pat's scratching his back again. Pat's constantly
Yeah, I
scratching
was
his
gonna
back.
say they probably have tons of footage of me scratching my back. So sometimes with a fork, sometimes with like the bread knife, because well,
Yeah,
psoriasis and eczema, so I get really itchy. So
when I
I
didn't
use
have a back scratcher, I would lean up against the corner of the wall.
mhm.
And go,
Stucco houses used to be my best friends. You remember those ones that had the fake glass stuff on it?
yeah,
Oh, those gave a good back scratch. They left you all marked up, but I didn't care because I'd ripped my skin off anyway. So
yeah, right.
as long as it
Yeah,
scratched my back, I was happy.
we're we're itching to get out of this meat suit.
Oh, I've been numerous times where I've told people I actually wanted to have a zipper on my skin so I could take it off and like scrub it from the inside with the scrub brush and then put it back
Yeah,
on.
right.
And people look at you so weird when you say it. It's like, no, I want to be able to clean it good because, like, to me, it feels like there's got to be something in there because I'm so itchy all the time. I know it's my eczema and my psoriasis, but to me, it's why I don't have nails because I really would rake my skin off. And it's funny because all my life guys have said, oh, everything's really nice, but, you should have nails. And I'm thinking, if I had nails, everything else wouldn't be okay. So either I can have nails or I can have skin. It's your skin.
So one of the biggest I wanted to bring up, I have to talk some Mandela effects.
Sure.
What and one of the biggest Mandela effects of my ordeal here is, and this is a big ass anchor Mandela effect, is the jet engines on the airplanes where they sat in the I remember them in the middle of the wings, underneath the wings, slightly coming out a tad bit. And when you look at them now, they're hanging so far towards the edge of the wing, it looks like they're going to fall right off the plane. And that is so crazy. And I did my own research on it when it first happened to me. I went back and I looked, and that's the way they always have been. These jet engines, their engines just barely hanging on. Uh, it's is crazy. Is that something that you remember yourself, or do you?
Well, since I've never actually flown on an aircraft, I would not be the best person to ask. I do
Oh,
have
okay.
an off topic, but still Mandela effect related question to ask you.
Yeah.
It's just not about planes. Um, how many moons do we have? Do you recall what it used to be? Because,
One. One moon, and I never realized that we had so many full moons.
and you know how many moons we have now, currently? Let's poll the room
One.
and just see if anybody knows how many moons we have because I found out today it's not one.
Yeah. I don't. How many full moons does everybody remember? Or
Oh,
I
not
mean,
full moons, just moons in the
just
sky.
moons in
How
the sky.
many moons does planet Earth have?
And I don't. I
Because
remember
I'm
one,
pretty
but
sure
I
this
don't
is a Mandela
remember.
effect, at least for me.
I don't remember there being so many full moons. I even with one moon, I don't remember
Every
there being.
28 days.
I know, but now we're getting them every fucking day, just about.
No, it's just time is sped up so quick that that's how short 28 days is now.
Hmm. Wow.
Time is speeding up so fast. They've actually had to adjust all the satellites again. Like they're physically acknowledging time is speeding up. They're saying microscopically, but we're noticing. So it's a lot more than that. But anyway, to answer your question, because I don't think anybody's answered, we have three.
Three moons?
Three moons. We have the one we can see, and then there's two that we don't see. Since when?
Yeah, like how did you find that out?
I was watching the space program either this morning or yesterday morning, and they were talking about the moons that are orbiting Earth. And I went, wait a minute, did I hear that right? And so I went back and I played it again. And yeah, the moons that are orbiting Earth, and there's three of them. And I'm just like, okay.
You know,
Like,
this is the
I heard
most
that there was a second little one that they were calling a submoon a while back, but that wasn't really a moon because it was just a rock. But
this
now
is
apparently,
like the
three
most
moons.
craziest fucking ride I have ever been on.
I'm just sitting back
Like
because
journey
it's
here.
all, none of it matters. That's like, there are some celebrities that I guess kind of had an awakening and were trying to warn us a little bit. So they would say things and it was just so out of context, you couldn't figure out what they were saying. They were saying, like, life is meaningless, all of this is nothing. Everybody that you've ever seen me be, including, like, this was Jim Carrey specifically, he goes, they're all characters, including Jim Carrey. He's a
Yeah.
character too. And at the time, I didn't understand what he was trying to say, but it was him trying to explain that that's the self that he created to survive here. So that was the character that he learned to play, was Jim Carrey.
Hmm.
And so he's figured out none of it matters. That's why you see him kind of being all weird now and talking cryptically and stuff. But there's a few celebrities that are doing that. And I'm going, I think they're figuring it out, but they're being cryptic and they need to actually outright say it. But there's a whole bunch of people that are outright just coming out and saying it too, which is great.
Yeah. Do you think they would be knocked off before they were able to say anything, or
I think they're a little bit worried about that, but I think that that's still kind of like it's one of those ones where you are either all in, you got like a toe in, you're leaning on the fence, and those are the ones that are worried about ruffling feathers. They believe, but, and it's like you can't have that but. At the end, those people that are walking that line are going to have a hard time because you either stand with them or you're against them at that point because you get that choice. That's your free will choice is you can either choose to be saved or choose not to be. But if you're choosing to be saved, then you also have to be willing to speak for him when everybody's going to persecute you anyway and not give a crap because you can't be in fear of that. You just have to truly believe that in the end, even if they go and wipe everything that they can out from underneath you, God has you. You're not going to fall flat in your face and stay there and just keep going.
yeah?
And
Welcome, children.
it's so hard for a lot of people to take that leap of faith because Like, if I do this, it might be my job, and then my job, that'll affect my house, and then, and then I won't have a place for my kids. And they don't trust that if
Yeah,
something happens, God isn't going to slide in there with something that's even better to save all that. And we're not ever taking that leap of faith. And we all got to make that leap of faith. I've had inklings and been told that
but
this
I think that
year's coming up is the switch over where those that are currently in power and running things and are working for the wrong people are about to have all that taken away, and everything's going to be transferred over for a few.
I think a lot of this has to do with you
But it's going to make a lot of haters too.
relieving yourself of any like you're not supposed to be connected with anything in this world. Like you need to there's always something to worry about. Kids, what I mean, it gets you tied down to where you're in fear of losing your job, losing your kid, just like you were talking about. And I think as you learn more and more truth, for me anyways, the more truth I'm learning, the more I'm releasing myself of being connected with this world.
Well, and it's not even so much connected, because you're supposed to be out there loving them all, but you're just not supposed to be of the world. So you can go and talk to an atheist, a whatnot, a transgender, a whatnot. We're just not supposed to be
Right.
partaking and condoning of it. We're just supposed to be loving and trying to talk some sense into them lovingly and explain why that might not be the best decision, but in a loving, kind way, not in a "you're gonna rot in hell," blah blah blah. Because nobody listens to
Right,
that. Once you say that, they shut
what
right
I'm
the fuck
saying,
down.
besides giving them any feedback or whatever, I'm just saying that you're not supposed to. I mean, it's better to disconnect from
Well, you're not supposed
anything
to
dealing with
actively go out
anything.
and hang out and partake in those activities. So no, you don't go and hang out with people doing immoral things and whatnot and just continue on and be like, well,
I
I'm
don't
not
think.
personally partaking, but I'm still, no. But you're also
I,
not supposed to be mean or not help them. So if they come up or engage you in a conversation, you can respectfully have a conversation as best you can
yeah,
in
but
today's
I'm not
world.
going all there. I'm not going all there. I'm just saying, with you particular, don't. This has nothing to do with anybody else but you. And that's what I'm saying. For me, the more truth I find out, not that I'm not going to not talk to anybody, that has nothing to do with it. The more truth I find out about what's going on, the more I pull myself out of this world. That's what I'm saying.
Yes. Well, you just don't have the same drive, and there's no enjoyment of the secular activities anymore. Like, how many of
Any
us
activities,
were
you don't have to
really,
even specify any activities. Anything, nothing
well,
is fun
all of
or
it's a sham. One of the things I learned very recently was that to have a church in North America, churches have to go to one specific financial institution to be able to borrow the money to be able to set up their church. But when they do that, they have a particular set of rules that every single church has to follow for them to be able to receive this money. And they've all caved into it, which really made me sad. And one of the things that they had to cave into is saying that Jesus was born on December 25th, knowing very well that the original Bibles don't follow the calendar we have now. And so that would never actually line up on that day every time. It
mm,
The day is, because they were on a 13-month calendar and we're on a 12-month calendar, moves around on our calendar a little bit because they run on a different calendar, and we're not even close. But they have us just randomly, arbitrarily picking a day, and most people believe that that's the day that Jesus was born. And it's just little lies like that that are like, those are going to crumble apart. And are
mm,
crumbling apart, because that's why they're shutting down, part of the reason why they're shutting down the internet, because we're all sharing information still, and they were hoping we were just going to share porn and junk and celebrities and cats, I'm assuming, because they like
mm.
cats and stuff like that, but they didn't want us to actually share truth. And now that the truth is coming out, all of a sudden everything's getting suppressed down. But that was one of the things that um, is major in question. But all of it kind of was, because we all kind of saw it merge with pagan holidays. I mean, Christmas tree and Easter has a bunny and eggs now. And, like, so we see all the lies that have been intertwined with what's supposed to be Christian holidays. And then the lie is, well, we took over their pagan holidays. So yay. And it's like, well, but if you're
See,
still,
with you talking about it, that's still connecting with the pagan stuff and all that. You gotta. That's what I'm saying is I
well,
have to
that's what I was pointing out, how many of us have disconnected from the holidays and we just don't have any drive to celebrate whatsoever for the most part in the way that they want to. So we look at it as a day to be thoughtful of him and just hang out with our families mostly. And I noticed that big time this year with like the mass population. I don't know about down there, but up here, a whole ton of people did it that way that normally would have done the whole big festive thing, and they just unplugged completely from it. And all for different reasons, but it was kind of nice to watch everybody unplug from it and nobody buy into the consumerism part and waste a whole bunch of money. And
Yeah, there's just so much of, all these holidays. You can't walk into a store without them already. I mean, Christmas is barely over with, and they already got Valentine's stuff
well,
out.
it's 'cause they want you in a constant consumer state.
Right,
And
right,
each
exactly.
holiday is actually worshiping a demon.
Yeah, I mean, it's none of it is good. None of it is good because you are. It takes so much.
Well, my
There,
question is, why does
it
anybody who
keeps
says
you
they're
busy.
Christian want to celebrate Christmas in the first place? The Bible
Well, it's not
specifically
only
states
Christmas; it's
to
all.
only celebrate the day
And you
that
don't even
he
have to.
was
Huh?
resurrected. Like his death and resurrection is what he wanted us to remember, not his birth. And we all focus on his birth. Like, so we're completely not listening to him at all. And then saying, yay, Christmas and Christian. And I'm like, but it says not to do that.
Right. Even going from the holidays to they keep you constantly uh fixed on holidays that are coming up, everything that's going on in politics, everything that goes on with your work. There's it. It's no wonder why a person can't learn the truth when their mind is so occupied with everything else that's going on.
Question for you,
There's
Pat.
not, huh?
Question for you. Have you figured out why yet they're causing all of this inflationary crapola that's happening?
Why are they causing it, or what's
Have
the
you figured out
question?
the latest reason why we're having a sharp spike? I know it's down there and up here in North America specifically for the cost of everything going through the roof, from your electricity, your rent, your foods. Everything went through the roof. Of course, their
Grant,
excuse is
okay.
that it's some carbon taxing bullshit and inflation and whatnot. But do you know what the real reason for it is? Because they're keeping us
All I
so
know is
busy. None of us have time to actually fix anything that they're breaking now, even though it's broken, because we're all struggling just to put food on our plate and pay our bills. So they're
mm,
keeping everybody immobilized that way.
right. Yeah, and constantly in fear
Because
of
they're in
where the
fear, but they're
right,
also too busy focused on food and family and paying rent to even think about being able to do anything locally to fix the local problem, never mind the state problem or national problem. Like, they're just making it so nobody who
right.
would be
But
effective
we
has
we
time
gotta
or
stop
energy to do it.
talking about all this stuff. That's what I'm saying is we've got to stop it with worrying about all this shit. I worry, I'm to the point where I
Well,
am
here's
so,
the thing. I'm not
you know,
suggesting worry about it. I'm suggesting
Even
ignore
wasting my
the
time talking about
distraction
it.
and doing it anyway.
I know, but that's what I'm saying is like we need we need to focus on why the Mandela effect is happening, right? Even finding Mandela effects or whatever Mandela effects that are happening right now, I don't even care anymore. I'm past that.
My
I'm to
question
the
is, do
point
you
where
really
I
need to find out why, or is it as simple as it's there and it helped you come to the
no, I
realizations
need
you
to know
needed?
what is going on. I have to know. I need to know the truth about everything. And
You want to know, but you don't have
yes,
to know. Your
no,
life or death
no.
does not matter on whether you find out why the Mandela effect is a
I
thing. You would
yeah,
like to
no,
because it nags at you.
it's very important because it has to do with spiritually, with what I'm dealing with. This
But
is
what if
what
it's as
I'm
simple
dealing with,
as
and
so
it's
that you would
spiritually, so
start to
I
wake
need
up and
to
notice?
huh?
What if it's as simple as so you could wake up and notice? And the reason why there's
I
so
think
many is
it's a
because
lot
there's
more than
8
that.
billion people on the planet and they need a whole bunch of them so that everybody gets a personalized one.
I don't know about all that. I don't think there's 8 billion people on this planet or whatever this is, wherever we are. I know we ain't on a spinning ball, but there ain't 8 billion people on this planet either. It's all a facade. It's all fake. I don't even, I'm starting not to even believe that I am actually sitting here really live. I'm like somewhere else, projecting myself here. That's where I'm going with this. And I
I know,
know it
I think
sounds a
I'm
little bit
gonna
kooky,
give way
but
more credit to God and way less credit to myself, because I couldn't do anything if He wasn't allowing.
of course. But this is what I'm saying is this is some sort of thing that we've gotten
But you
ourselves
knowing that
into
isn't going
that
to
has
learn the lesson you need to learn
no.
here. The lessons that you need to learn here, you have all the
And Jesus
information for.
Christ had to come here to show us the way back
Mhm.
out. And that's what I'm saying is th- just because I'm saying I think that I am projecting myself here has nothing to do with whether I believe in Christ or not. I already know Christ is the one that came here to show us the way out of
Right, but the
here.
lessons you need to learn here, you already have all the information you need to know to learn what you need to learn. He would not put you here as someone who can build somebody in the image of himself, all perfect. Why would he then go, oops, I forgot to tell him this or I forgot to give him this? There is no mistake here. There is a lesson. A lot of the times there's some patience involved and a lot, and that's patience is mentioned many times in the Bible. So,
You don't believe that this place hasn't been taken over?
oh, this place has totally been taken over, but it was supposed to be taken over. There isn't anything good or evil that God didn't create on this planet. It is all here for a reason. And we need this reason. We don't understand it now, but we will when we need to know it. We just need to sit in patience and wait. You will know instinctively what you need to do and when, especially if you're reading the Bible, because it tells you what to do when this happens, what to do when that happens. It even tells you what kind of candles you to use. All the instructions we need are there.
I don't, I don't believe everything in the Bible is true because of it changing. You
Okay,
know,
this is what I know to be true. I know that everything that they've changed in the Bible, if you look at it and you understand God and Jesus,
yes, I understand what is
you will
written on.
understand that the words have changed, but the message is exactly the same. And that's exactly what he said would happen is that even though they corrupt the word,
Right,
my children will recognize the message.
right, exactly.
So it doesn't make it any less valid because they changed lion to wolf, because we all understand that the lion was representative of a predator,
Not
which so
not
is a
to
wolf.
us. the people who don't see it.
But they're not going to see it. They have willfully chosen not to see it. It is not up to you to fix that. It is up to you to get right and do what's best
Doesn't it
and
say that
hope that
you're supposed to
you're a
spread the
shining
word?
good example will
And
lead
the,
others to
if the
follow
word
suit
is
because I want to
changing
be like that.
paper, then what? Did you hear me?
No, you cut it out.
I said if the word, okay, it says that we're supposed to spread the word. And
Mhm.
if the word is changing, then how are we supposed to do that if we can't, if we don't tell them that it's changing?
Because for them, it's not going to matter because when you describe the wolf and the lamb and the lion and the lamb, the answer is still one is a predator animal and one is a prey animal, and they're going to get along. So the overall message is still the same, whether it's a
I'm not
lion or a
talking about
wolf.
that. No, I'm not even talking about the message. I'm talking about spreading it to other people.
Right, but when you're spreading the message, if you have one that's in question, that's not one you should be spreading now, should it? If you're unsure of if that meaning has changed or altered the thingy, then you don't use that one. There's so much in the Bible that is not changed or that you remember
But
correctly
basically,
that you
isn't
can
it
just go with that.
telling people we're in dire times right now? Uh,
Oh, everybody already knows we're in dire times. They just have differing reasons as to why. Some of them want to blame climate change. Some of them want to blame, but everybody is pretty much under the
show there it
same
says
agreement
God
that we're
is never
screwed.
wrong.
Exactly. God
I
is
don't
never
remember
wrong.
ever
He
saying
doesn't
God
make
was
mistakes and
ever
he's
wrong.
never
Do I
wrong.
think
So
God
if
wrong
you don't
anymore?
have the information, you weren't meant to know it yet. That's how what I know. Without a doubt 100%. Because everything you need to know will be told to you when you need to know it, you will know it. As long as you are actively seeking to know and asking to know, which we all ask for. I mean, every one of us who are praying anyway is asking for it. So why are you worrying? You're supposed to give up all your worries and stress to God. The moment you cling to them
What am I
and
worrying
stress out,
about?
you want to know why the Mandela fixed this and that? He knows.
That's not
He's
worrying.
got
I
it under
want the
hand.
truth. I want to know the truth.
And you will as soon as it's time for you to know. And you have to accept that. You can't force it. God's will is God's will, and you will know everything you need to know when you need to know it. And if you don't know it now, that means you weren't meant to know it now. It'll either mess you up
So
or you won't
I'm
be able to handle it, or
not supposed to
it's the
strive.
same reason why I don't remember my childhood, because if I remembered it right now, I would probably end up like my sister with 5 personalities because it's too much for my little brain to handle. And I'm sure once we get up there, I'm going to be able to remember it all. But I'm also going to have the full access of everything to be able to handle it at that point, and I won't feel pain like you feel down here, and it'll just be an experience at that point. And we are all meant here to experience what we're here for. And our free will in that is how we choose to accept these experiences and what we do with them.
All I know is I need to get high. Hmm.
Oh, trust me, that's coming soon enough. I know it doesn't seem like soon enough, but when it comes, you're going to be like, well, was it?
The truth will set you free. Or lock a guy up. Or
It's
lock a
kind of
guy
like
up.
my concept of death where people are shocked I don't take it nearly as hard, but that's because I know they're not truly gone. They're just gone from me. They're gone from here, but they're not gone. So I'm not nearly as upset about it because they're the lucky bastards that don't have to deal with this shit anymore.
Yeah.
So I kind of celebrate their passing. Like, we have it all wrong here. We celebrate when somebody comes to join us in our misery down here. Everybody gets excited for childbirth.
Hey,
And we cry when they leave and get to go to God. We have it so ass backwards here.
What did you say? We have it asked backwards. What? What? Why do
Well,
we
we
have it
are
asked?
excited when babies are birthed here. We get really excited that another soul is trapped down here in our hell. We get super excited for that. But when somebody
Yeah,
dies and gets to go be with God, we're never excited about that. We cry and mourn their passing, even though they get to go be with God.
yeah. No, you're
Like
absolutely
we're
right
asked
there.
backwards.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the selfish ego side of us. Because
I'm trying.
nobody wants to be miserable in hell alone. And so we rejoice every time somebody joins us.
There, I think I
Isn't
got it.
that
There we
messed
go.
up?
If anybody else wants to come in
Me.
and chat with us, they
I've been
can.
having all sorts of like weird little thought processes on that. And I'm just like, this is actually like,
I was thinking about that the other day too. I'm like, why do we cry when people die? And I was saying the same thought. I had the same thought pattern a while back too. Um, but I only put it as far as people die. I didn't think of when people are born into sin, born into hell, basically.
they
We
were perfect before they
celebrate
joined us
it.
down here.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that part. I just thought of why are we crying when people are set free? You know,
Because we're
yeah,
it's a little bit of selfishness that we're not there and they get to go and we don't.
yeah, yeah. I could definitely see that.
And here's the thing, we're so selfish that when we go and die, which we all have to do pretty much alone as well, we'd like to go with somebody
Hey, angels don't fall.
because we don't want to do anything by ourselves. We're scaredy cats.
Yeah, I I definitely was getting to the point where when I hear of people around me who were close to me in a sense, like a good friend or something that has been passed away just recently, I actually had thought that thought, like, damn it, you got to go and I'm still stuck here, you know. So yeah, no, I get that, but the only thing that sucks about when you leave here, you obviously miss your loved ones that are left back here, but in reality, in such a short time, you will see them again. So
Well, that's the thing is now they've got eternity. So what little time they're waiting for us is like a smidgen in what they've got left now because now they're not stuck with their corporeal bodies. So now they exist forever. So to them, it's not much of a long wait.
yeah, nobody can. I knew that.
We
I
invented
knew
time.
I knew who was texting me. Um, we can't see Trev in the chat, so everybody say hi to Trev.
Oh, hi, Trev. Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't been looking at chat lots, so sorry, guys. Hey, Joe. I think that says splatter. Angels don't fall.
Um,
That's Pat.
Trev,
BLD.
I just put the link in there, so you should be able to click on it. If you can't, I'll figure out something else, Trev. So just text me if you can't grab the link I just put in there. Um, so what were you saying now? I was reading.
Oh, I was just reading off names in the chat.
Oh yeah,
Trying to
angels
anyway. I'm
don't.
blind,
I
so
talked with
I may or
angels.
may not have stumbled
Oh,
over some. If I have people, I am so sorry. I am a blind old lady, so forgive me. I have no glasses on, and I'm outside, so I'm squinting. And I just smoked half of a
and
joint.
I'm jealous because she's got weed and I don't.
I'm sorry, Pat. I'd share.
Yeah, I know. Uh,
I was so lackluster at Christmas. I put just enough on that my kid didn't feel completely shafted. But I literally took 2 pre-wrap rocks from last year's Christmas display and just put them on a shelf. Put 1 Christmas bauble with them just sitting between the boxes and said, "There, that shelf is decorated." That was my entire Christmas display. That's all I did. I put blue lights in my window, just resting on a desk because if I hung them up, the cats would rip them down. So I just rested them on the desk, already down, because then they don't have
I
to knock
got.
them down.
Hold on, I gotta grab some coffee. But
And
you
I
go
wouldn't
ahead.
even have put the lights on, but because my complex is canned china and they were complaining about no decorating with colored lights on your patio, I put them in my window because you can see them from my patio, but it's not on my patio.
Uh huh. Can you hear
And I
me?
did that just because everybody else was so scared nobody else even decorated because they were so scared to break a rule and possibly get an eviction notice. And I'm going to show them how to get around all that because they're all scared of the landlords and young. And I'm like, I read those things over and over again, and I will show you exactly how you do it. You use their stuff.
Can you hear me?
Kind of, yeah. I'm
Kind
on
of.
my phone, so I can barely hear you at the best of time because max volume for me is not very high. Not when I'm outside and there's car traffic. Stream.
Okay. Just a second.
You're not like horrible or anything. If you were on my computer, I'd be able to hear you just fine.
Yeah. It'll be just a second. I'll be right back.
Oh, are you making coffee?
Yeah.
How did I know? Just don't take us pee, okay?
Don't take a pee.
Yeah, I said don't take us to go pee.
Oh yeah, no.
Only Sharky gets to do that.
Yeah. I wonder where he's been lately.
I'm not too sure, but he was texting at Christmas. I made sure to check in and wish him a Merry Christmas.
Did he answer you back?
He did.
Okay, because I haven't talked to him in a while.
Oh, talk to you, Sharky, my kid, of course, and my niece in Alberta, and my girlfriend in town here. Think other than I texted the staff at work just because, well, keep up the relations. Don't want everybody mad at you. Ugh. And I don't even know where that's at right now. It's pretty much got no new information from the last time I updated you on that. Everything's sort of been in limbo. I've sort of kept it there. Okay, let's see what's going on in chat because it says that there are new messages in chat. Let's
Are
see.
there?
2 of them at least. That's what I think I saw on my phone. Joe says he'll try and join in a few. Repost the link. It didn't seem to work. Oh, I see the link finally. I wonder if it's going to let me join chat. Oh, geez, no, it's going to take me out of here if I do that.
Hold on, I'll repost the link.
I was going to say I can do it, but I'll have to go in and get on my computer in there, and I can copy it from there and paste. It sucks because almost nothing that I can do with my fancy computer in there can I do on this stupid cell phone. And this stupid cell phone is supposed to be smarter than that computer. And I'm like, but it's so hard to use. Had it for years. I still don't know all its features.
Oh, I know why I didn't post it. The other link had a extra one on it somehow. I must accidentally
I'll hit one when you
put
were.
a
Yeah.
one on it or something. Highlight my hairdo.
Oh, there's the hairdo. Let me see. Can I see? Let me see if I can
Yeah,
make my screen any bigger.
I need a
Oh, I
haircut.
still can't see worse shit. That sucks. Not your
What's
hair.
it?
The fact that I can't see it.
I'm trying to. I'm growing my hair into uh yeah 80s.
Oh, the mullet?
Yeah, the mullet. Yeah,
You just want girls to run their hands through your hair.
yeah. I'm gonna have a mullet soon. Whoop. I knew
So
that
what
was gonna.
kind of mullet are you gonna get? Are you gonna get like a Bon Jovi style mullet, like rock band, or are we gonna go for country style mullet, like Billy Ray Cyrus?
More like
Hey,
Joe Dirt.
Oh, there, or like Joe Dirt. But
We
is yours
ain't
a
got.
mullet? Is it so much shorter on the top? I can't tell. Or is it all long? Because if it's all long, that's a Jesus hairdo.
Hey, Tammy, you actually made me think earlier when you said what you said,
Which
and
one? Say lots.
oh,
yeah, I'm gonna leave that for the chat to decide what it was. But you made me think, and honestly, I think I'm a better person than you said. So,
Oh, he cut in and out. What did he say?
yeah. I don't know. He was cutting in and out.
uh, I'm sorry, man. I think this whole phone really sucks. But I said, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can
I
hear you.
said, I appreciate what you said. You said, what did I say? I said, let chat figure it out. But you made me think, and you made me a better person by thinking about what you just said a little while ago. So thank you.
Oh, no problem. I chat so much now, I'm sure I'm going to get in trouble at work again soon because I can't help myself. Somebody asks a question, and if I can help them move in at least a thoughtful direction where they at least put some more thought into something, I'm probably going to open my mouth. So I'm destined to get into trouble. That's what that tells me.
Uh,
Well, we're all destined for that.
yeah.
I woke
Hey,
up so
happy
thankful this morning.
Cammy's good at making you think. What did you say?
So I woke up
said
very. Oh, go ahead, Joe.
happy new happy new
Happy
year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
I hope you had at least one good day because the next 363 days or so is going to be a bitch.
Yeah, right.
You know,
No, they're going to
I don't
try to be
sure
a bitch. I refuse to
I
let them.
don't need to go to you guys, but we're in trouble, and you all know it.
Oh, we've been in trouble our whole life.
Yeah, that's why we're
We
so
just know
used
about
to
it
it.
now.
That's why we're so used to it.
Well, I don't know. I don't think I've ever been used to it.
Really big problems over the last couple days. Even trying to tell someone about what's going on. Are you even willing to send your children off to war? Because they're going whether you think it or not. What the fuck are we doing? Sorry for the language, Patrick. Just, I'm getting frustrated. I don't want to see my son go, but he's going to go for what?
Hmm. Yeah, no, I hear you because I deal. I'm the same way with my kids too. I'm in the same boat.
I want
It's
to
hard.
fucking kick your ass, Pat. I really do. I just want to start kicking some fucking ass. I'm getting tired of it. You know what I mean? Getting tired of it.
Yeah.
If it's going to happen, bring it now.
Yeah. Right.
Before
No.
I send all my children after you. And
Right.
I got boys, and I'll send them all after you. Bring it now, so they don't gotta go.
Yeah.
Otherwise, quit playing the game, right?
Well, here's the thing. They're bringing it now. It's just not in the way everybody's expecting it to hit. Everybody's looking for a physical fight. They're
Yeah.
not
Yeah. No, you're
making it a
right.
physical fight. They're making it
And
strategic gameplay. They are implementing policies and procedures. You are fighting against principalities and people
That's
in high
right.
places.
it's a
So
spiritual,
we have to fight with different weapons than what we're used to. We're used to when somebody wants to fight, you either make a fist and punch them, or if they've got a stick, you get a bigger stick. If they've got a gun, you get a bigger gun or more people, but they're not fighting that kind of fight.
What
They're
would you
fighting
do,
the mental
Job,
fight.
if somebody came up and punched you right in the chin? What would
They're
you do?
trying to take children and twist their minds against their parents so they can rip the
Someone
family apart
walked up
that way.
and punched me today, right now. I would just laugh. Finally, something happened. I would
Yeah.
Here's the thing,
I,
if someone was to walk up and punch you today, they would
think. I would
probably cry because your face hurt their fist.
yeah. I mean, it,
know,
I know
I'm
what
one of
you're
the
saying though,
best men
Job.
you've ever met.
Let's get
And
her done.
I'm one of the craziest men you've ever met. You've met me.
Yes. And you are an awesome guy. Um, and we
No,
can't
I'm
let
doing it
I know what
now.
you're talking about as far
Yeah,
as
I'm doing it
let's
the
do
way
it.
the world, and I'm
Let
completely losing my shit.
yeah.
I mean, I ain't gonna drop my balls. Trust me, I'll still pick them up and walk on.
I
But I
do think
gotta
this
tell
year
you,
is
man,
going to be a pivotal year,
One of the
on this, this celebration
one of
New
the
Year was
biggest
and we need to be
nobody,
mindful of what we speak into action.
and I'll be honest with
nobody
All for what you want
coming.
to see.
I'll be
No
honest with you.
one's coming.
I
That's what
I
I'm trying to.
I have been dealing with my like I am dealing with some serious anger issues right now, and I am trying
I'm
to
slightly there. I'm slightly there.
eh, and even though I'm as angry as I can get, like I can go from 0 to 90, and
Yeah.
uh and I'm like, why am I so fucking angry? And it's not like I'm gonna go out and punch somebody or do anything to hurt anybody else or hurt myself. I'm just angry. I'm very angry from inside. Very, I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to deal with it. I'm trying to figure out why the fuck am I so angry?
Because you have a past trauma you haven't dealt with. And when you feel that emotion, it's because it's making you feel the same feeling and it's making you feel just as helpless as when you were having that
Cammy,
trauma.
Cammy,
You haven't dealt with
let's
it
not
and
try to
controlled it.
let's try to do Dr. Phil.
No, that's
Yeah,
not a
I don't
Dr. Phil thing. That's a
think it's gonna
spiritual
work
thing. If
out.
you don't get your emotions under control, they're going to run you. The devil plays with your emotions.
I love you with
Eh,
all my heart,
Why
Cammy.
you were given a brain so that you didn't run on just your emotions. Girls run on emotions, and look how quickly
Hey,
Eve
welcome,
was
Trump.
teased into sinning
I
for Satan.
appreciate you, bro.
So let's take a
Don't be.
break for a second. Hey, Trev, how's it going?
Oh yeah, I'm all right, bro. How y'all feeling? I'm out here. I'm always in the chats and shit. Y'all don't see me leaving my sister's place right now.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Giraffe.
So how was your Christmas and New Year's?
Nah, y'all could finish talking about what you was talking about because that's not even
We
nah.
don't
No,
we
we
don't
want want to know. I mean, want to know that you're okay, you're doing fine.
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool. Trying to
Our
maintain another day.
suck. How are you doing, Trev?
Right, yo, Joe, how you feeling, bro? I'm good, I guess. Doing.
Well,
Uh,
I gotta tell you, I've been sinning since about 7 o'clock yesterday, so
You.
I feel all right. But oh man, the desire to hold back
Yeah.
has been great the last couple days as I've been out in public. Oh man,
Mhm.
no one knows what's coming, dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
They don't want to hear about it. You can tell them and they will laugh at you and call you an idiot for believing it.
Yeah.
Even though all the signs are there, you can show them proof. They don't want to look. I've offered to show them proof. I have proof saved all over the place and they don't want to see it.
I will promise you one thing. As a man, if they send my boys away, I will go with them.
Word. Yo,
No
I
way.
wanna go with you. I'll
And
go
we're
with you.
gonna come out of this. We're gonna
If
come out
you're
of this.
if you're concerned that they're sending your boys to
I don't
war,
care if you're right or wrong at this point.
you do
Because
know
I
that there
know
are legal ways to
I
avoid
don't
that,
even
right?
there,
this one.
there.
I will follow.
Yeah.
I will follow that.
Your boy is not even close to being old enough to be drafted right now. So,
Really?
and
Give him
and
another
I know,
year. He's right in the war.
I
In
Joe,
the
don't think.
middle. And you know
tell
that, Pat. So you can't say that.
tell your
Give
children when they go for their medical tests, no matter how much they scream and yell at them, to always
They've
land
already
on
shown
one foot before the other.
50, 5,
Hold,
They will not
7-year-old
send them.
kids.
They
hold
won't
on.
send them if
No,
you don't pass the physical.
Do you think? Hold on, Joe.
yeah,
So what you're saying is you think that your son is going to be drafted?
oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, I think it's not just going to be sons. They're sending everybody. They got really excited when they found out everybody wanted equal rights because now they can draft everybody, girls
And
and
you are,
boys.
it will skip this year, but it will be everyone else. And my son still gets older. My other sons already are gone.
But did you hear me, Joe? They can't be
Yeah,
sent if they don't pass that physical. There is
I
one
got
way to not pass the physical. You just, no matter
5.
how many times they tell you to jump up and land on both your feet, jump up and land on one foot before the other, and
But
always
I
pick the
think
same
that's
foot.
changing though, Cammy. I don't think that they're gonna even care about people's physical things anymore. Even if anybody had physical ailments, I don't think
Yeah, but
it.
this is
And that's if
a
they were gonna
issue
draft
that will
people.
make them dangerous on the battlefield, and they won't put them
I really don't think it's gonna
anywhere.
come to that.
3 of my sons have already joined the military a long time ago.
Yeah,
Well,
but I
Well,
don't.
that's on them
one
now.
of them really was
That's the
smart,
thing. You
and he
don't
just
get to make their free will choice. They chose to go do that. They have to deal with it.
There's too many
so
people talking at once.
they're all going. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I do
No,
have fucking sons, man.
Well, if they're already in the military, then there's not a whole lot you can do. They've already made their
No,
decision,
there's
did they not?
not.
And was that
but
their
No,
decision or yours? It was theirs.
but
So,
shouldn't you have trust in Christ that Christ will do the right thing with
yeah,
your?
I can't really teach 4 of them that anymore, but that's what I
I,
tell the last one, Patrick, all the time.
I mean,
Definitely.
I get worrying about your kids because it's a thing that
Well,
we
not
all do
really.
with our kids.
I'm just trying to warn the world because you don't want to see my ugly mug behind the howitzer because that's about what's gonna
Well,
happen.
that's right now you have the platform to warn whoever's going to listen to this, and I'm giving you the floor right now, Joe, to
All right,
warn people.
I'll take it.
Go
Let's
for it.
start with number one. Put me on a full screen, Patrick.
Okay,
Let's
hold
start
on.
with me. I'm not ready to send my children to your wars. But if your wars come here, my children are in front, and I'm right behind them. And none of you want this to happen. Think of your own families. No matter how selfish you act, we're about to come down. And it ain't gonna be you coming down. It ain't gonna be me. It's gonna be every one of us. What are you gonna do then? What do you think of yourself? You think you're better? You think you're better than us? You're nothing. When it comes down to it, when war comes, you're nothing. I'll send my boys. What are you gonna do? We'll fucking kill you all. 1,000,000. 1,000,000,000. What's enough? End it now. Before it happens. Thank you, Patrick.
Yeah, no, you're welcome, Joe. I see your passion. Whoops. Let me do this. Exit slowly. I just muted myself here. I'm trying to get out a solo layout here. There we go. All right. Now, where did he go? I can't hear you, Cam. You're on mute.
I know he left.
Joe, come back. I wanted to talk to you. I understand. I understand his passion, but and Trev left too. What's I don't know if he accidentally dropped out or what, but you guys are more than welcome to come back. And like I understand his passion and everything, but I think he's watching a lot of. It sounds like he's been watching a lot of TV, a lot of news programs. Because I have no idea what he's talking. I know I get the whole ordeal with China and Russia and all that, but I don't know the extent of the way how far they are pushing their propaganda because I haven't been watching the news. But it seems like Joe has been watching it,
Pretty hard.
and
Yeah, they've got threat of war.
he's pretty fired up about what they are spewing out. And I just want to say that I personally, well, here's Joel right here. Hold on a second.
Oh, I'm just curious.
Hey,
Never left,
okay.
man. I've been backstage, apparently.
Oh, okay. I thought you left.
And for the correction, you are kind of wrong. Because I don't even own a television and I do not watch news. I don't even watch the weather. I'm just telling you
Yeah.
what I'm.
Okay, well, I don't, I mean, how? Okay, you're saying what you're seeing, but where are you seeing it?
I'm not sure I can say that out loud.
In your mind, in your dreams?
Yeah, I'll go with that crazy point. Yeah, but I got a lot of family that
Yeah, I was
mentions it.
going to say he's got family in the
Uh,
military and he probably can't tell you what he's heard. Let's put
I
it that
can't
way.
really, but
okay, all
our
right.
dreams are the best example because that's
Yeah,
about tomorrow. You know,
yeah, I didn't think about rumor like in the bar if I don't watch the news like
you know who I am,
I never
Patrick.
have the huh?
Said you know who I am.
Yeah,
That's all I really say.
right. And well with me in the bar, I don't I put the news is on one of the TVs, but I never have it talking, I always have it where the language I mute it and
Yeah.
then put the because a lot of people want to watch the news. And then on the other side of the bar, I have on like Gunsmoke or something where it's actually you can hear them. So I don't get a lot of what's going on with the news except for what people are talking about. And they do have everybody so riled up and ready to go to war because they're afraid that with Israel being attacked that we're going to be the next ones being attacked. And
Really? That's
I just
actually what's on the news?
what?
That's what's actually on the news? No wonder why I feel it around all the people.
Yeah, it's hard to sit and listen to a lot of the conversations that go on because I want to jump in and tell them about the Mandela effect, about what I'm seeing, but they'll
Pat.
never. But and I've tried to, and they don't believe me.
Yeah.
So there's nothing that I can do that will. And I never try stopping though. Even though maybe it's not up to me to warn them on what I'm seeing, and maybe it is. I don't know, but do what's in my heart, and I feel like people should know the truth. I would want to know the truth. Maybe there's not everybody that wants to know the truth, but maybe there's that one person that does want to know the truth. And so that's why I never give up on trying to feed the truth out. And Trev is having a hard time staying in, but we'll hopefully get him. I know he's driving. That's probably why he keeps going in and out. But anyways, I'll heed the floor to y'all. I can feel you though, Joe. I can feel your passion and everything, and
I
I
hope you
totally
understand.
understand. Huh?
I said I hope you understand. Because the reality is, it's my children and your children that are going to get us out of this. And I know we love to believe in God, and I believe in Him with all my heart. But I'm not sure you gotta just trust them kids. You gotta trust God to use them. And I just see total annihilation happening. And I don't know what to think about it. And
Well,
it's all
annihilation. You're
One
talking
over
about
here.
annihilation in between wars and stuff. They've
if,
also
if,
been spreading the rumors of
if this is
annihilation
what
of
they're
some
teaching us here, if this is what they're teaching us here, by what you just said, because you work in a bar and you got the television running, if that's what they're saying here, can you imagine what the Russians are saying now? And I'm
yeah.
not even against Russia. I think they could have been one of our greatest allies ever. And can you imagine what the Orient is saying? And I know I'm old school because I say Orient, forgive me, but how else do you say it? You call us fucking freaks too. The whole world's about to go up in flames, man. And God said He was coming on flames. So I'm a little bit concerned if this isn't a fucking self-manifested prophecy. Seriously.
Yeah. Right.
Well, he
Well,
just knew what would happen if he left us to our own devices. I mean, he does know everything.
oh, yeah, you never leave me alone twiddling my thumbs. Because you know I'm going to fuck it up.
Idle hands are the devil's playground.
It's the world right now. Because the whole world's reacting. And what did I always tell you guys from the moment I met you? And I always said it. When the world goes this way, I go that way. The world's going that way. Go that way.
Yeah. Right.
You
Yeah.
know it.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
And I'm terrified, Patrick. Even my dude, all my family walks around like nothing's wrong.
Mhm.
Oh, all my friends do too, by the way. Why am I the only one that sits here and prepares? Why am I the only one that worries about a year from now and not tomorrow? I'm getting a little bit paranoid, and I gotta tell you know it. You all
Yeah.
see it. You all experience the same thing I'm describing. You can literally say, hey, you know the world wants to fucking kill you? And they just kind of laugh and shrug it off.
Right.
It's becoming terrifying.
Usually they say we're dying slowly every day anyway.
Well, yeah, that'd be another dismissal of what was said, yes.
Well, it's because they have an apathetic attitude. They don't think the earth is going to be here very long. They don't really want to be here. And they have no morals, so they don't really think nothing about.
Amy, I think the problem is a lot of people do not love themselves anymore.
No,
And
well,
I know,
nothing about how we've been raised for generations now has taught a lot of self-love.
oh, yeah, I know the Bible teaches the love of the self is selfish, but at the same time, you gotta have that basic love. Otherwise, you can't do nothing. And I'm afraid the whole fucking world just stopped loving
Well,
itself.
the whole world has forgotten their intrinsic value. They've all been told that they're a speck of dust on this meaningless little tiny dot floating in a big vast space thingy, and all of it's meaningless. So they don't think there's any reason to have intrinsic value to themselves. They think they're going to turn to nothing, go back to nothing, and it's not really meaning anything, and they don't understand the value
I
of the gift they've been given
think
for now.
has a lot of sophisticated words that I don't quite understand, but I'm pretty positive we just said the same thing.
Uh-huh.
Yep. And I'm sad about that. Really am.
And for many generations, people have been slowly educated. This poor generation has gotten it the worst because they're in full control of what they can say to kids now, and the parents pretty much are
Hey,
unplugged completely and don't have a clue.
that's absolutely what I just said to my mother tonight.
And it's
I
terrifying.
told her because she actually ridiculed me a little bit on what I was doing. And I had to look, and I actually said, I'm trying to teach men. And that's not something you would understand, you know? The whole world's against us. I'm
Well,
not offering my hand.
sadly, men are one of the few categories that, unless there is something they're offering, the world doesn't just automatically offer them unconditional love.
Don't. If you're a man, you've had a life of roughness. And
And
I
up until
guarantee
this generation, women
how
had
much
a cushion, and now that they've fought for equal rights and that's been taken away, they're all getting slapped in the face with it. Because up until then, they had an out, and now they don't have an out. And
I got 10 girlfriends. And that's not true. They're not my girlfriends, but they're my friends that are women. And I would say half of them are without men.
mm,
And there's no fucking way you would want them just because of the way they are today. they're fun to hang out. I mean, they work with the guys, but at the same time, no way in hell. You don't even know what's going on.
It's
You won't even sit down. You know?
it's really sad, and sadly, half the girls that are getting guys, I'm looking at them and I'm like, how on earth could you have 3 different guys on the go and you have like such a horrible, horrible personality? How did 3 guys fall for that?
Hey,
I
I
guess I
think as
don't
a
know.
guy, none of us laughs at that because we all understand.
I'm like, I
It,
I have to
it's
laugh at it because I'm thinking like, I have a hard time finding one decent guy, and here this person who's got a horrible personality has got 3 on the go, and I'm like, and then I know this is what's making them so jaded. It's hard to find a nice guy, but how do you explain that to people?
no, it's funny,
It's
but
so sad. It's funny.
it's not becoming acceptable. And if we can hold off complete annihilation, I think the next generation might fix a lot of shit the last one broke. I hope.
What's
We
wrong with
don't
Otherwise,
you?
know
Bro?
if we're
Damn.
gonna get to last that long.
All right. So let's change the subject a little bit and not.
I didn't know we had a subject.
Yeah, you guys are stuck on doom and gloom and boom, boom. Going
Not necessarily boom. There's so many different ways for us to go. If we merge with AI and become one with it, we're dead. If we
Before.
go to war, we could be dead. If we get
what
snuck by something
what
in the
if
thingy, we're dead.
AI already has taken over and we are on replay? What if we are all
Well,
just
you're half right. AI has already taken over. We just haven't fully merged with it yet, but it's working on it really fast. This is the last generation that isn't going to be merged with it. The wonderful CRISPR stuff they're doing is helping them along greatly. But they're talking about like being fully integrated within 25 years. So that's before our lifetime ends.
yeah, and that's what they're saying now. But each year speeds up to just a few years. It comes down to
Right. So
basically
if they're admitting 25, we know we got maybe 10.
not even that. Not even that. We
I
got
know it's
within
rolling out
2
fast because
years.
here in Canada,
Or
they
I
have
think we got
pushed through universal basic income. They wouldn't pay every Canadian citizen money for free unless they know they're replacing them in the workforce.
Well, there's not going to be very many alive to have to pay in the
see,
near future.
even we are arguing about when it's going to happen, when it's already happened.
Well, it's we're already past the point of no return. We're already at they're controlling everything. I mean, they have been for a while.
No, but what Joe is saying is everything is already done and already taken place. We feel like it's coming up, and we feel like that
We
it
get to
hasn't quite got.
experience it in our
So,
timeline soon.
yeah, what if
No,
But
it's
you're
already all played out?
right, Patrick. Reach down, grab your nuts, and say, "Let's go."
Let's
You're right.
go.
everything that's going to happen has already been set into motion and is going to happen. We don't get any control over it. What we get control of is what we
You're
do
on.
while it's rolling
You're
out.
when it comes down to it, you're only in control of yourself. That's
Hmm?
it.
That's
And
it.
not even fully that. You're in control of
That's it.
yourself with the information you've been handed.
Hey,
So
I've been
a
around long
person in
enough.
Korea,
I've been around long enough to know one other thing, and that one thing is, as long as I'm a strong, powerful man in my mind and in my abilities, I can always get the next man to follow me. So if you're strong enough, if you're tough enough, you can always have men follow you. So don't worry about it so much. Only worry when no one's behind you.
Hey, how does Kennedy
I'm not
get
even
through
worried when
that?
nobody's behind me because
Jackie Kennedy?
Don't worry at all,
I
bro.
know that I'm not ever going to be able to trust men 100% because all men will fail you at one point or another. The only one you're going to be able to
Scripture.
trust is God.
The point is, the man behind me will keep moving forward. That's the whole point, Cameron.
Right,
That's
but
why
you want to make
you
sure you're heading in the right direction when you're moving forward because you don't want the person shoving you in line and you're like heading towards a cliff or a
in front
conveyor
of
belt or the road to
the,
hell because the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
but you don't quite get it.
I can't pronounce. Is that Xenu? How do you pronounce that name?
I don't know.
Anyways, welcome. Annette says she's back. That was a while
I'd
ago.
say Zanu.
No, I don't get me wrong, Cammy. I love women with all my heart. I'll lay my whole life down in front of women. But at the same time, you do not quite understand war because you've never stood in front of the Gatling gun. And men understand these things. If they've had a family life and has done it, they
I
know what
just
it entails.
understand where the tech is now, and most of the war that's going to be fought is going to be fought where your children are going to be flying drones. They're not going to be anywhere
Really,
near the battlefield.
I'm pretty sure I keep teaching
Unless
mine to do.
unless yours are considered fodder,
And the
and I'm
battlefield
just
is
assuming yours are probably pretty
that's the
smart,
battle.
then they're going to want to keep their brains fully
Please
attached to their bodies.
Hey, Peanut, welcome.
understand, war does not change. It will be in the trenches. You have to understand that.
But you have to understand the
Not
tech. The
change.
tech is not necessarily going to be first target all the military people. Most of the military people are going to be using all their fancy military toys, but they will be targeting civilians. I'd be more concerned about your house. Well, not specifically yours because you're in the middle of nowhere and you're not surrounded by anything, but if for the people who are living in cities, anything close to bases, because bases will be
No,
targeted, but most
I do not believe
decent,
that
smart
the
soldiers
Mandela effect is the
will be
result
hidden.
of the project. I do
Sorry.
no, I do not believe that.
It really is difficult to. Yeah, I
And I
can't
don't know
do
if you
that.
could talk
I
to your
really
children
can't
about
do
any of the tech they have
that.
available.
You're a beautiful lady. You're a beautiful lady. But I cannot take advice about war from a woman. And you gotta forgive
Well,
me on this one.
you can be forgiven
Really
all
have
you want. You don't have to believe me, but the advice that I am offering doesn't just come from me and my little head. It comes from the people I know
100%.
in the United States military who are fairly high up who showed me the stuff they're allowed to show me. And if what they showed me was what they're allowed to show me, I can imagine what they're not allowed to show me. What they already have out is amazing that they were allowed to show me.
I don't care about that. When it comes down to it, it only comes down to the men. I don't care about anything else. It don't
Right.
come down to
I'm
technology.
Well,
not worrying about the men.
you
I'm
got to know
saying
too,
if your
right?
children are half as smart as you, which I'm going to assume you had some say in that, then chances are in the military, they might get to go in remotely instead of be sent in as the people shot at because they tend to only do that with the ones they deem not valuable, is what I'm saying. And I'm suggesting that if your children are half as smart as you're smart, then
I
they
love
might actually want them around.
you. I love you. I'm just saying it's hard to take advice.
I'm just trying to relieve some of your worries and ask your children if they are allowed to talk about any of the cool tech that is allowable to be talked about, so that you can hear of some of the cool stuff that's out, because some of it's really amazing. Scary, and I wouldn't want to have to use it against humans, but it's kind of scary from how far away the United States military can shoot people from.
Okay,
Well,
so
we already know they nuked Hawaii.
Well, I'm not talking about big nukes, though. I'm talking about being able to take out a person.
Yeah, I know. They tried to get me like 7 years ago.
And
That's
from
about
very far away now, when it's the United States military, can they do that from? So we can hope that maybe that's the area, if they have to send them in, that they use, so that they're not physically getting to put themselves in harm's way to do it. That's what I will be praying for you. How's that?
You know what I know with all my heart? As a man, I know
hey,
one
Trev,
thing. The more people talk and bluster it up, the less you got. And if it comes down to numbers, I would take my neighbor over any technology. So I don't think it's going to end well for no one. But I think we will
Technology
come back.
controlled by man. I'm not saying an automatic robot. I'm saying they're going to have a merger between a technological gun that they can put in the dangerous zone, where the person controlling it is nowhere near that area.
To military tech is advanced by at least 80 years ahead of the public. I agree.
So he could be safely sitting in U.S. soil and like functioning in Iraq kind of situation. That kind of tech is what I'm talking about.
I think that time travel is possible.
Counter offensive for you. I will start sending cows after you. I will send dogs. I will send cows. I will send squirrels.
Oh, you're gonna send me steak?
Right? I mean, I'm not lying, right? If that's all I got, you got some robot dogs walking up. I will send the cows after you.
Oh, you think it's a robot dog? That's sweet. Think more like a robot gun. Robot
something that mops us
explosive
up.
device.
It ain't gonna be you, and it ain't gonna be Pat.
Robot dogs are like the recon to like scout things, but that's not what they use to kill people.
You know what I'm gonna send out after you all? I'm gonna send out nothing but love.
Yes.
I
Well, that's
love you.
what I'm hoping for. But yeah, don't get me wrong. Somebody comes and tries to murder everything in my house and whatever. I am not going to be like, I love you.
I'm not saying
And I'll
anything
bring
bad
you.
about
Like, I'm
him.
going to have righteous anger and do everything in my power to protect myself that I can. But
You did a good job.
I just
think
said,
I did a good
I was going to say,
Coffee?
Cammy, I didn't put you down, Cammy.
no, I
What are
didn't.
you drinking?
That's
I
why
got
I
excited when you said you were going to send me cows. I'm like, steak. You said no, you know how expensive that is.
more bud, but I think I'm gonna pop out. That actually is me. And I love Cammy, but
I think it's a
What's wrong?
chamomile lavender tea.
Oh, okay. So,
Really good.
they were talking in chat. Hold on, guys. They were talking in chat about CERN, whether they thought that CERN may be somewhat responsible for the Mandela effect. I personally say I don't believe CERN has anything to do with the Mandela effect. But what do you guys think about that as far as CERN goes?
can I answer that?
Yeah.
I think if anything's possible, it might have happened. And I don't know. I don't know nothing. I don't even know if CERN exists. But I know they've done certain things like that. So if it does exist, and if that is the hypothesis, then of course it can happen. I believe that. I believe whatever you think is what will happen if you believe it. And I don't mean to say we're gods.
I believe
I'm
I'm gonna
just,
eat this chip.
we see the same things and we tend to develop it. That's all I have to say.
Half the reason for the internet was to get all the humanity to start thinking and believing the same thing so they could manifest it into here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's mostly true, Cammy.
Yeah.
And I do love you,
Sadly, some
Cammy.
of us have
So
figured it out, which is why they're restricting the internet because they also don't want us
No,
using it for our gain.
that's very good. Every time I say things, they happen. I've noticed that too. That whenever I think of something or say something, it seems to happen right almost directly after I've said or whatever.
So let 2024 be the year where you learn to control what you say so that you can manifest all the good things that you want to see happen in the world.
Yeah.
good luck.
It's so hard.
Oh,
Yep.
hey,
Anything
it's
this year is hard.
really hard to be positive when the loaf of bread costs $5. It's really hard to be positive.
Well,
Yeah.
Joe, I
I hear
can't
you.
feel your pain because I shop at my work and a loaf of bread is $1.29.
Person, right? I actually go through 10 to 15 loaves of bread a month, along with maybe 10 gallons of milk. You know how much that fucking is? It's
Do you want a
hard to
bread
be
maker?
positive when you actually know it.
Do you want a
Yeah.
bread maker?
Huh?
Uh,
They're always cool.
Bread
you know
makers
what I
would be so
really,
much cheaper.
you know what I really want, Cammy? I want a fucking hug.
Wow.
A hug?
Yes.
Drive all the way up
Yeah,
to my
could I
house,
even give you a
knock on my door, and I'll
hug?
give you a hug.
I think I give you a hug.
I would come there. I don't have a passport. I'm in Canada on Vancouver Island. I just gave Pat my address so you could actually get it from him, but I'm good for hugs.
They'll never give
Yeah, I'm
me a
not trying to
pass.
go over there.
You think they'd give
It's
you?
kind of far. It's actually not that far, but they won't let me in.
I am literally
Yeah.
45 minutes from the United States border, and I can't get across.
Yeah, so I'd literally have to jump the border type shit,
Now I'm on an island. You'd have to swim the
and I'm not
border.
trying to do that.
How
The
you
border's in the
doing?
middle of the ocean.
Oh yeah, okay,
Swim the border.
that's lit.
I wouldn't. I
I'll
live
call
here.
you
I swim
Yeah, I
again.
good.
don't
I
really
wouldn't
care.
swim it. You won't make it.
Or I could send you a drone.
Hovercraft. We have to build a hovercraft.
Facts. Yes,
They're actually really
yes.
cheap. Last time
I
I
could send you a
checked, it was
drone.
$600 for the plans and $600 for the parts.
What's the next subject?
Oh, can I say something? Yo, I saw in the chat right before I tried to get on here because the phone died and everything. Wick Swain out here, bro. I haven't, seen him in a while, but I really thought about this guy the other day. You could ask Pat. Like, so definitely in my thoughts, bro. Hope all's well and shit. And you out here on the East Coast, Crystal and everything. Hope everything's good. If he's still here.
Y'all are so
I
far
think
from me.
we need a little bit more filler on that. I didn't quite understand.
Yeah, how many
Rick
of
is
you
in the
have now?
chat
So you
if he's
seen
not out here in the chat. So I was just saying, that I thought about this guy the other day. I told you. So haven't heard from him in a while, and just thought about them. So I thought that was cool. Saw him. Hope all was well and shit. That's all.
Okay. Well, that is good.
And honestly, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so Rick Twain is um he hits me up on Facebook a lot and says, or Facebook Messenger, and says hi every once in a
Okay.
while. So uh some sometimes whoever doesn't keep up with me through my phone will hit me up through Facebook. And yeah, I agree so much with that statement that thinking of things and people and all of a sudden they pop in my reality. I haven't found yet how to bring fortunes and fortunes to my reality, but maybe I'm not meant to ever see.
Haven't figured out how to put a quarter in my pocket where I can bring Bob over to the house.
Yeah, I would love to be able to have lots of money because I would share it with everybody, and that's probably why I don't have lots of money. Uh, because I always, get rid of it as soon as I get it, and I never have anything to show for it, and I never do anything really fun. So if I was a millionaire, it would never happen because there's no such thing as me being a millionaire. You have to be, you have to be, in order to have lots and
Honestly,
lots of money. I believe that you, there's something that you're morally doing wrong. Um, if you have tons of money.
You have to do something. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
understand what you're trying to say, Pat.
yeah. Right. You got it.
And
Right.
honestly, in my lifetime, I have found what you have said to be perfectly correct. Because you are given choices for a lot of money. And the more you take,
yeah,
the
sure.
more you'll get them choices.
Yeah, I mean, look at back in I was just thinking of this too. Back in the early 90s, when I worked for Universal Studios in Florida, they had just opened their doors. I was working tons of hours, but I was not in acting or anything like that, but I was trying to break into it. And I had gotten split up with my ex, and she came back to Wisconsin with my at the time my uh, one little over 1 year's
And
money.
this is how the story of the axe murderer came in.
No, listen, she
Come on, that was funny.
she brought back my 18-month-old son back to Wisconsin.
So, it just
So
gets
I could have I stayed down there for another year, and I was starting to break into commercials and stuff like that, being uh, uh, like a extra in commercials and a sci-fi series called Super Force. Anyways, I
I've
was
been
just
waiting for Hollywood. I've been waiting for Hollywood to call me up for a Klingon role.
yeah, right. Anyways, I was just starting to break into that. I did make the choice to quit all of that and go back to Wisconsin to try to fight for custody of my son. Therefore, when I went back to Wisconsin, I stayed in Wisconsin. I never went back to Florida to live and work and everything. So I gave up. I was making good money. I was somebody that they knew that they could rely on because I showed up for work. I worked, and so I don't know what could have happened if I would have stayed there, but I think I turned, that was my choice back then because I probably could have made a lot of money doing it. But I came back here and ended up starting my own business, which I enjoyed. I enjoyed a lot more than I know that I would have done that because of the fact that I love painting and stuff. Uh, hold on, let me get to
Right, Peanut?
the.
Crunchy.
Okay, Trev said he'll be right back. Um, so anyways, yeah. I mean, at some point in our lives, we all give up. We've all given up somewhere where we could have probably made a lot of money, and we
Oh,
went the other way.
I can tell you 10 of them.
Heck yeah.
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 No, I've honestly, that's the one thing that even I just told my son the other day was if you tell a man that you'll do it for $200, I don't care if it costs you $2,000. You do it for the 200, and you do not increase your price, and you do not be that kind of man.
Man
Yeah.
of his
Right.
word.
Right. I did a lot. Listen, I did a lot of jobs that were picked up by. They were picked up by big companies that were so overloaded that they started to throw their
Well, we got
jobs down to where I could subtract that job from
yeah,
a bigger company. And I'll tell you, their prices were 4 to 5 times more than what I would have charged. So
yep.
even with what kind of cut I was getting, basically 50%, and I would have to pay for the fucking supplies. So and do the job on top of it. It still was worth it to me because I was getting what I would have normally charged anyways, maybe a tad bit under, but them bigger companies fucking charge outrageous price. They're raping people in the sense of, my God, you're talking $1,000 to $3,000 to refinish a deck that takes a few hours to do. Eh, and I'm just like, me personally, I charge like maybe $300 to $500, and they're
Hey, Pat,
charging
can
what?
I tell you an uplifting thing? And I know it's still in me, and I know it's still in the people that are around me because I'm there and I tell them. But at the same time, I really could not tell you how many roofs I've done for absolutely free just
Mm,
because I was on a different roof and I look over and that roof is falling apart. And then an
mm,
old lady comes out. I've done so many roofs for free, Pat. And you do slightly know me. And you understand what I'm trying to tell you. I've
yeah,
done so many. I've done over 10,000 roofs. You know this. Over 10,000 roofs I've been on. I
yeah,
gotta say, maybe 1,000 of them was free. So
mm,
I've tried, dude.
yeah,
And it did
yeah.
not make me richer, by the way. It did not make me richer.
I
It
suppose
actually
not.
put me further in debt. The more
Well,
I
here's the
did,
thing.
the further
It
debt
depends
I.
on how you value what's making you richer. It made you richer in all ways but monetarily.
Yeah, I'm
Right,
just saying in simple terms, Cammy. I'm just saying in worldly terms. It did not make me richer.
right,
That's just because we were focusing on the wrong monetary value. It
But
didn't make you money.
in the same example, when no one had work in January, I always had work piled up. So
mm,
I understand that type of forgiveness because I was always able to feed the people around me.
Yes.
And I know
Didn't pay you then, but there are future rewards that will make it pay off. Because then
I
you
know
have
it's,
people praying for you that wouldn't normally have prayed for you, but because you were an answer to their prayer.
but can I tell you what the kicker is, Cammy? I haven't really done much in like, I don't know, about 10 years. And if you were to meet me today, you would have no clue that I did all these things. No clue whatsoever. And I'm just as poor as you now. I mean, I do have assets that are there for me and my family, but at the same time, you would never believe that I was one of the richest amongst all my buddies. Had so much work. All I can say is I'm pretty sure I bought some of them fucking missiles they shot at Ukraine. You know, that's all I can say.
Oh.
Paid a lot of tax, man.
Hmm.
It's kind of frustrating. I mean, I did over 10,000 roofs, Patrick. That is a
Well,
hard thing to swallow. And then
uh,
one day I actually walked off a roof and just said, I'm done. And I never climbed up another one unless it was for a friend or a family.
yeah.
So I did do that.
Yeah. So I don't think I asked you, Joe, how was your Christmas and New Year's?
Well, Christmas was a little bit meager this year, but we all enjoyed it because it was so warm. And I was able to dig the pond out, and it was very beautiful this Christmas.
Cool.
Even
That's
though the
good.
ground was frozen.
Oh,
New Year, I actually took New Year's off and went to one of my buddies' houses. I don't know. I've probably seen 30 people that I haven't seen in a while, and honestly, half of them thanked me for something or the other, and it actually made me feel good, Patrick.
good. Good. I'm glad.
So that was the first time in many years that someone thanked me,
Yeah.
but there was quite a few of them that really did thank me. And I was kind of shocked.
So what? Oh, forget it.
They were doing
Here
better than I
comes
was,
here
right? It
comes
was
that
just
train.
because of 10,000 roofs, man. It's what I was telling you. You
God, do you
just
hear
did.
that train? Oh, it's going.
At least it's not me for a change.
Yeah, that
No,
train, man, comes by
I
so many times.
was really trained. Yeah, I don't think it's outside. Where
Doesn't
the
it
hell
look
is
like it's going? Look at his car. The light shines. It now it went dark. Like the train's going by
it?
his.
Yeah.
Like the train is.
Well, this ain't cool, Trev. You ain't supposed to be in a fucking train yard and disappear. This is like
Right.
Friday the 13th type movie.
It looks like the train's going by in
Train
front
spotting.
of him. Huh?
Train spotting.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a funny movie, by the way.
Huh?
Train Spotting is a funny movie, by the way.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't ever. I didn't know that they made a movie called Train Spotting.
Oh, look it up. You'll actually laugh. If you actually like dry humor, because it's kind of dry humor, you'll
Uh,
laugh your ass.
do you
I
consider
like.
The Office dry humor?
I never watched The Office, so you gotta
That's
forgive me.
yeah. I like The Office. That's funny. It's really funny.
I never watched it, buddy.
Uh, Have you seen The Office, Cammy?
Like, I think a few clippets here and there, but I haven't had cable television in a long time.
Oh, okay. Well, nowadays you don't need cable.
Yeah,
You
but
just
you usually have to buy a streaming service, and I don't put apps on anything or pay for anything.
The Office was back in the 90s.
yeah, right.
Early 2000s came out, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
I
I
have
mean,
owned cable television for so little of
I've
my
never
life. It's
seen
not
it.
funny.
I got like the first 5 episodes up on my shelf.
I haven't seen lots of things. With the exception of my child made me watch all the new Star Wars movies that came out because Star Wars. But
I just spent $170 3 days ago and bought The Mandalorian.
I think I've watched most of the first season of The Mandalorian because that was the season we were watching before they made everybody stop sharing Netflix and Disney accounts. And so now
What
if I'm
was
to
the
continue, I have to pay for it
show
myself.
about?
And I don't pay for things, so it ain't happening.
What is that show
No
about?
more. I've watched most of it,
Baby
and
Yoda.
I think it kind of sucks. Just my
I was
personal
watching it for a bonding experience with my kid because he's into Star Wars. But yeah, it wasn't.
knowledge for that series.
It reminded me a lot, The Mandalorian, of like the original Star Trek,
No, it was
Okay.
where it was
worse.
just a
It was,
season with this
I
happen,
was,
and then we're going to introduce a new character, and something's going to happen, and you're always going to end up with the main characters. And
you're talking to a sci-fi junkie, so don't bullshit me. I got the original Star Trek, and I'd rather watch that than the fucking Mandalorian. It kind of sucked.
I did until the Mandela effect started hitting it, and then I've lost interest in that too
I don't got internet,
because I don't
so
recognize it anymore.
I don't do the Disney Plus. I don't do the
I
whatever.
only watched when my kid came over, what he'd put on because it was on his account. I don't pay for that crap. Are you kidding? And now they've just limited it, and you're not supposed to share passwords between houses, so we can't do that no more.
Well, I have no idea. I never did.
I won't pay for it. Like there's not enough anything in the world that would make me want to give Disney my money. And Netflix is about the same. I
But
have a hard time doing.
that's what it boils down to. Is I just don't
Welcome
want
back,
to pay.
Jeff.
Thank you.
We
Hey,
heard your
Trent,
train.
how you doing, partner?
Huh?
How you doing?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Just had to use the bathroom. You said you heard what?
The train.
The
Yeah. You
train.
tell,
I'm
Yeah,
like
train
three
went by.
blocks away from the train.
Well, it went by and it was loud.
you thought you got
Haven't
No,
run
stopped
that was
over.
flashing lights
probably a
then.
no, that was probably a garbage truck.
No, it was a train. We all heard
No,
it.
I'm telling you, because the train is far enough to where you wouldn't hear it. I'm telling you.
Did we hear a train or a garbage truck, people?
I would love to argue with Cammy, but there is a difference between a garbage truck and a train, and I just got to go with what she said.
But you guys, the train was coming from me. The sounds were
Oh,
coming,
the sounds. Okay.
Um,
but it
Wasn't if
looked like
it
it was going by Trev.
wasn't
It was
Cammy,
Jack's fault.
it's Patrick.
Patrick had the
it's
train, but you
okay.
had the flashing lights of the train. It was great.
Yeah, like you wouldn't even hear it if it was over here.
Well, then your train has something wrong with it because train whistles are supposed to be heard for blocks and blocks and blocks. The whole point of them.
Um,
Where you at,
Not when
Trev?
they're on tracks that are, you know. I'm sorry.
Hey, Trev, you're in your car. Where
What was
you at,
that?
buddy? You're in your
New
car.
York City.
Where you're in New York. All right. All
Yeah,
right.
my grandmother. You say what?
I said pay attention.
I ain't pay attention to what. I try. It's too much going on over here all the time.
Your area.
That's what I'm saying.
This
Pay
place is
Sorry.
ridiculous. But yeah, my
What
grandmother.
So we could have watched him getting carjacked or car robbed, and
right?
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
well,
basically.
I read his
so,
message
Yeah.
and said,
'Cause
"I'll be right back."
no,
give
go
me a
ahead,
second.
bro. What about grandma? What about
Oh yeah, no,
grandma?
no, no. I was just saying basically why I came from my sisters is like my grandmother gave my sister this TV or whatever because the cat like knocked it over her TV. So I brought their TV and then like my niece was asking me to take them back to the house or whatever. So that's why I was over there. I set up this TV or whatever and like I jumped on here because I saw you. I'm like, all right, that's great because when I get back over here, I'm gonna be looking for somewhere to park and it's like crazy over here.
Bit of Venom said, "Choo choo train bringing garbage from Amazon."
I'm
Yeah,
just wondering what hand he's using to drive with, because if they're all on his face, how's he driving?
he's parked.
Oh,
I'm not. Yeah, I'm sitting here. I'm sitting here right now. I actually got. I was out of the car, because I came from upstairs. I had to use the bathroom. That's why I said be right back. And Pat was talking, but when I was actually moving, you didn't see because I put it down near the dashboard. Because if I put it anywhere else, the phone's not going to stay. It's going to move around.
I just had a flash of him picking a parking spot by covering both his eyes and just driving forwards. And there, I'll get a parking spot.
You can't do that here.
Well, you could, but you
Like
get in
not even
trouble.
for a second.
You
Yeah,
could
No,
don't
you
even
run
get
all,
into
something.
people.
I agree. All TV is garbage. Bit of Venom.
Well, I didn't
'Cause
say you wouldn't hit
everything,
people, but I'm just saying you could technically
every
do it.
TV show
It'd just get
has
you in a lot of trouble.
propaganda in it.
hey,
I,
Trip.
I don't know about
Am I
that.
right? Am I right? Every TV
Yes,
show or
I'm out here.
movie has propaganda in it.
Yes. Nowadays, absolutely.
Yeah, the propaganda comes from the news.
Propaganda comes from
The news is
everything on
propaganda.
television,
Well, I'm sorry.
movies,
You watch
commercials.
Gunsmoke from way back when, and
Uh-huh.
I'm seeing the propaganda they're pushing
Yeah.
back.
Trip.
Well,
And
correct, because everybody's always going to show their
Joe
opinions.
asked the
did you guys see the New Year's Eve? I didn't watch the New Year's Eve thing, but
I haven't seen it.
there on
I didn't.
every newscast. I
oh,
didn't even have to hear this. I just seen the TV, and they on New Year's Eve it was the morning program. They were all pushing on the strike of midnight when everybody's blowing their horns. They showed two guys kissing for more than like 20 seconds. They showed it, and then they went showing some guy that looks like a girl. I mean, this they even just to watch uh the them bring in the New Year's Eve thing, they are showing propaganda. Oh, another one was the white and black. Uh, they had either a white male with a white girl or a white girl with a black male. They're always pushing the to try to divide us by showing the two genders together. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some blacks that don't like seeing that, and there's some whites that don't like
mm,
seeing that. So they push this propaganda,
I
and then
think
obviously they hate.
bummed out about what I watched this morning. This morning, I woke up and I watched Super Mario Brothers. I thought it was great. I was
really?
like, where the fuck did this show come from? That's what I did with my
Yes,
black.
that was actually a good one.
black friend, with my white friend, with my Indian friend. We all sat there and woke up and watched Super Mario
Yeah.
Brothers. So I do have faith in some of the world, you know what I mean? But I'm telling you, get ready.
Yeah.
But that's what we did today. We woke up and that's what
You
we
mean
did,
you
buddy.
weren't with your hey, you weren't with your Chinese friend and your Russian friend? What happened to them
No,
guys?
we didn't know any Russians and we didn't know any Chinamen.
Right.
Otherwise, they could have hung out too, you know? But they didn't show up, apparently.
Yeah.
No, it's that simple, man.
They
And that
probably weren't allowed to fly in.
I'm trying to
was
get high
so
on this Delta 8 and it's just not working.
I don't even know what to say.
Or
What
Delta
do
Delta,
you
8.
do?
whatever
Yo,
it is.
Pat, I
But
got something for you, bro.
yeah, bring it on over.
I would, but I ain't really got no damn money, bro.
Yeah, I hear you there.
Trev, are you
Nah,
coming
you
out
can't say
this
that
week?
to me. I already showed you I show up.
Yeah, are
I
you going to
show
come
up,
out?
bro.
Is
I'm
that an
telling you, I'll
answer?
come out. Don't
Oh,
say
I
that
know
shit to
you.
me,
You've
man.
been
I'll
out
be
here.
out there.
You've been out here a couple times. So that's
'Cause I
Oh,
cool.
don't
Yeah.
want to be here.
I love you, buddy.
Nah, bro, I love you too. I actually texted you the other day. I don't know what to say, so I sent like an emoji or something.
To who?
Well, I don't look at that phone very
Joe.
often.
All right. Yeah, you told me that. You told me that. I just texted. It wasn't
Yeah,
nothing. Just saying what's up. Hoping everybody's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got
Soon
some
we're all gonna be
for
on the
real.
other side, and we're gonna be high fiving each other, going, "Damn, that was an amazing ride. I'm never doing that fucking shit again." No, you can't talk me back into this Earth thing. I'm not doing it again. We were stuck here thousands of years. Maybe, I don't know. But what if we've all been stuck here for many years and we're finally getting out of here? You know,
Interesting thought.
yeah, my mind goes everywhere. That's one
Yeah,
thing.
that's the only.
You
Well,
can trap
then
my
get your
body.
mind out of there.
You can trap my
If
body
it's
in my
I
everywhere, then it's
can't.
in the
It's
bad
not the
places,
easiest
but you
thing.
can't trap my
I be
mind.
the
trying.
naughty
And
places.
What? I didn't hear you.
As
I
soon as I
ain't.
said the word naughty, you heard it.
mean,
What?
I said, then get your mind out of there because if it's everywhere, then it's in the bad places and the naughty places.
Oh, gotcha.
exactly.
Just teasing you.
Ain't like you wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, someone asked me. I think it was Pat. You was asking me how the Christmas go, man. It was strange. Like I was looking for a word to say. That's why I'm like, nah, man. You can't even ask me that. Like it was strange. I don't even know how to explain. The strangest thing. All I can say is when at Christmas I got up or whatever because I was fully in my head. Like my grandmother asked me if I was coming over. Just come over whenever you want type thing. And I was kind of just like, because I'm not sure nowadays if we're ever gonna have like a dinner and stuff because there were like these 2 years in particular right after my grandmother's parents passed away. Like she stopped doing like the dinners and stuff. So I'm just not sure all the time. I don't call people all the time, whatever, and use the phone. So I was kind of
Yeah.
waiting for her to tell me she's gonna cook. She told me she's gonna cook. Are you coming over? I went over there, but in my head, like I was gonna, like always, I was gonna leave earlier than I did, and I'm just like, I don't even want to go. What do I do? Like standing around, not even leaving. Like And then,
Yeah.
rush hours happening and I'm thinking more, I don't want to go. But anyway, I ended up going there, even though I didn't want to. That's all I want to say. It just was very
And
strange
it
the
turned
whole
out
day.
to be a pretty good time, didn't it?
No, it wasn't. That's why I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, okay, all
It was
right.
so like, it was strange in a sad way, bro. And I don't talk about shit. Like my grandmother was even asking me about stuff like that happened then. And I'm like, no.
Mm.
And then today, bro, oh my goodness, my niece is right there, bro. And my two nieces or whatever. And then my sister, I guess, got woken up because my grandmother's like going off. And I'm just trying to like interact with you. I'm just talking. Like you, and then you tell me to shut up because I'm too intellectual or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I start talking whatever, and y'all just be telling me to stop. And I'm like, no, like this is very important. You know, I start going off on certain things and just like asking questions, not even like trying to tell you something, just asking questions based off of what you're saying. And then you're telling me to shut up and going off on me
Hey,
and start talking about politics and shit. It was crazy.
bro, that's exactly what I was saying when I joined Patrick's show. You look around and you tell everyone, and you're the bad guy.
Yo, it's crazy. Like she literally was on some like I'm not even 2024. I'm
Nobody
not
likes the
even
bad
bothering with
news.
you no more. I was like, what? I'm not even
No.
saying nothing, and you like, come on,
I think
screwed up,
that's
ma. You know,
now maybe if you guys open your eyes some, you can see where 2024 is going. And
Oh,
I
Oh,
think it's going to be one of our toughest years yet.
oh, they're not
well,
gonna get
that's
any
why
easy.
we had to go through what we went through in our lives so that we would be prepared for this.
Yeah, you're right,
Remember
Cammy. I believe you're totally right.
20, your
We're
eyes
set.
were open.
You're set,
Remember,
Joe. You know how to do this. I'm set. I know how to do this. We know how we're going to ride this out. They might not know how they're going to ride this out, but
that's
we've
the
all
worst.
seen it coming
Well, yeah,
forever.
everything
So
that's gonna come out from here on
there's
out,
one
everything that's
out of
gonna come
10.
out, Joe,
There's
Joe,
one out of 100.
everything that's
One
gonna come
out of
to the
1,000
regular people is
that
gonna
have
be a
no clue.
shock
Well, are
culture.
you going to say that you know better than God? Because he said when this comes, 1/3 of the earth is going to disappear. So there's nothing you can do about that. You can't prep them into not disappearing. They got to go. It's just how it works. They're going to go, say bye bye. And we should be rejoicing about it because the
you
world
mean
is
like
going to
you
be
were talking
better
about
off
like
when he's done what he's going to do. We just have to grit our teeth and bear it because it's not going to be comfortable to watch. We have empathy for people here because sadly we've attached ourselves somewhat to here. This is why they said don't have attachment to the world. It's easier to have this happen if you're not attached to seeing some of this happen because I hate to say it, generational curses. So sometimes because mom and dad are so corrupt and evil, the whole family goes. And we have empathy for children. So it's going to be somewhat painful to witness some of this shit. So
Are you done? I think we can agree with everything you said, but at the same time, remember what I told you a long time ago. Dig fucking holes. Don't really care. Dig fucking holes.
oh, I'm not digging a hole. There's too many
Oh,
Hey,
signs of
I
activation in Yellowstone. Any hole that I dig is going to be filled up with hot lava.
think
And I'm
anyone
on coal
dig,
mines. If I dig a hole, I'm falling through the earth.
right? Starters, I don't expect anyone to dig my grave. So you dig holes. You don't know which one you're dying in. Honest.
If I die, chances are I'm either going to end up in the water or I'm going to be burnt to a crisp.
what if we are already all dead? I've been asking
I
myself
know.
that many years.
I know, right?
Well, we kind of
I
are because
know,
this is already decided and our bodies aren't.
I
We'll say goodbye to
know
those.
that,
So
Patrick. I know that's not true. Otherwise, we wouldn't feel like we do. So I don't believe
Yeah,
that's
but you
true.
don't know that. Now my ears are ringing.
I told you
My
what I
ears are ringing now.
I told you what I believe though.
No,
So I
I
don't think
totally
that's.
believe that this has something to do with frequency. No doubt about it.
But at the same time, I can't dismiss times and times change. Like it
Yes,
says in the
because
Bible,
it with the
you know,
frequency, when the frequency changes, times are going to
I
change.
can see.
And the frequency is changing so fast lately that time is going by so much faster, and our reality is changing. Our history is changing at the same time.
Yep, yep, it is. And it's not only changing, it's being erased, even
Yeah,
physically. You
yeah,
remember, you look at all the mud effect, you look at the mud effects.
yeah,
Much what?
You didn't build some of these buildings. You know the
yeah.
fires didn't just happen.
Right. All these
So there's
mountains
something.
that are
I'm not even saying I understand what's there, but I
right.
understand there's something there.
There was
And
definitely a civilian. There was
today,
definitely something
they're
here.
burning the statues. They're destroying the buildings again. You
Yeah.
see it happening again.
Right.
That's so they
Right.
can repeat history. If we don't learn from it, we repeat it, and they want it to repeat.
Critical
Right.
aspect of
They're
it
scared
is
of
the
having this be the end one.
Right. Right. And that's what we're standing up against is principalities. They're destroying one and rebuilding another, and it just getting evil and eviler.
Power.
You know? And only
Real is the wickedness
some
around
few
me.
are awake.
there's no
I
books
think
this
there's
time.
more awake than
Hold
we
on,
think
hold on.
there is.
You got to understand this last aspect. There's no books this time. It's
Right.
all being written on the
Mm-hmm.
internet, all
Mm-hmm.
being written on the digital screen.
Mm-hmm.
There's no books this time. No one to record them.
Right.
It's because they
Yeah,
plan on
right.
keeping humans digital.
So that is
Yeah,
actual. That's a real big. That's true
that's
too.
This
big.
is the last generation that's not going to be hooked up. It's really sad.
From what I've seen.
It's
Yeah.
true.
And the kids are so excited for it. That's the part that scares me the most. The kids are
Yeah,
gung ho for it.
Go
They
figure.
don't care they're going to be controlled because they think it's going to be in their
So
best
yeah, I'm a
interest.
kid in the heart, but I'm a kid.
Yeah.
Let's
I hear
go.
that stuff every day. Oh, you
You
don't
ready?
want
I'm ready.
to do this or do that. Yeah. The government says,
I
or
could
the
talk all I
TV
want.
tells
Let's do it
you to do
though.
it. So it's for our best
For real,
interest.
for real.
You're like,
What is going
why
on with
would you
Trev?
believe?
I'm just waiting, bro. I try not to like.
he's talking to someone else.
I don't know, but it sounded like someone was picking a fight with him.
Good luck,
Who, me?
buddy.
I'm like, somebody's not like picking on Trev over there, is he? Let them know they're live streaming and that will come kick at their ass.
Hey, Trev's a big guy. As long as you don't trip
Yo,
over
I
his
get
feet,
picked on all the time. At, bruh, on one point, I wrote, bruh,
What?
that actually happens too. I'm not
I
even
agree
lying.
with. Even I
That's
picked
not
on you
funny.
once. Even I picked on you once. I love you, buddy.
Only we're allowed to pick on Trev. You're not allowed to pick on Trev.
Big enough that if he actually decided to do whatever he wanted, he could do it.
So,
See what?
so do you think we should all ditch our phones to get away from
Oh,
technology?
yesterday
I think
that
there's
I
going to
didn't
be
big.
a
hear that
point where
last
we
one.
have to, and it's
Uh,
coming fast for me here in Canada. I don't
You
know if you
know
guys have been paying
what?
attention to what's going down
Yeah,
here, but
no,
my leader's
they
gone
are
total
getting
dictator.
ready. They are getting ready to go full digital as far as your currency and all that shit.
Not just that,
Like,
he's gone full dictator. He's taken over the internet.
Who?
Over here, I can't watch certain things. It acts like China. If I try to click on news that comes from outside of Canada and it's not Canada sanctioned.
Really?
So the only reason why I haven't lost my internet right now is because it's the only way I pay my rent. Or I wouldn't even pay for the services because it's completely fucking useless for actual, real, legitimate information anymore. I might as well be in North Korea, China, Cuba. He's a jerk. We can't get him out of power fast enough.
Yeah,
I know the other guy's not going to be any better, but
that's
he
crazy.
says he's not going to do all this. So if he can even take half of it back, that would be a step in the right direction.
So you're saying 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Well, the one step back would
How much of that do you
hopefully
believe
be.
could happen?
Well, that's the thing is I don't trust any politician ever, but I know for a fact that the citizens here are going to
Word, right?
need to see that the other
That was one
side
of
is
the
just
talk.
as broken for them to understand it's not left or right wing. It's the whole damn bird that needs to be tossed out. And you have to be able to prove that to people because sadly they're dumbed down to a point where they can't theorize in their head and project what's going to happen. They physically need to see it.
Happy New Year. About
But yeah,
all I can say.
they're
I was
trying to
like, wait,
push
what was
for election to happen sooner rather than later here. There's a big push to oust the current leader, which would be a good step in the right direction. And because he's a WEF kiss ass and so is his underling, so we need the whole party gone. And at least the other guy isn't a WEF graduate. That's the only positive note that I can think of is at least he's not that.
Well, you guys
But
must be better
proof
than
is in
we
the
are.
pudding because they can talk anything they want. It's their actions that'll prove
Well,
otherwise. But
I
he's
couldn't
apparently
say.
against it all right now. And I'm like, oh, if he can at least do half of it and make it cheaper for rent and some cheaper food. It's just crazy here for shit. Like you guys think you have it bad. The average rent right now in my town for a 2-bedroom apartment is like $2,200 to $2,400. That's an apartment. Don't bother trying to rent a house.
Really?
Yeah.
it went up from 16. This is studio. It went up from 16 to 19.
Okay, but how many people are in your town?
Studio.
But how many people
It's
are in
way
your
too
town?
many.
My town is less
It's
than
way too many.
100,000 people,
Like 8 million.
and they're
It's way
doing
too
this
many.
to our rent. They're treating us like we're New York
I wouldn't
City
even know how to
or
explain it.
Vancouver when we're not.
Either way, it
Like
shouldn't
rents
even be like that.
were $800. Now they're 24. Like that's
Oh, that's weird.
a big fucking jump. And they're pissed off at me because I'm only paying just over $1,000. They want me out so that they can redo the apartment and get more money. But they haven't found a reason to get me out yet.
Are you the only one that they're
How
trying to
about
get
this
out, or
one?
is there other ones?
I actually have to save over $500 a month just to pay my taxes at the end of the year.
Mhm.
And I own my own shit. Nobody's paid. And I have to spend over $500 a month just to pay the tax every year.
Well, I don't have any land that I have to owe taxes on. I don't have a car that I have to owe taxes on or pay fees on. I've been
Shit on
very
this car for
careful with
today.
what
Man,
I've
I can't
signed
talk
up
about this
for,
subject.
just because I want to owe nothing to the government and have them to have no strings to be able to yank shit out from underneath me. I've been very careful. I don't have a credit card. They have no debt, anything. When they reopen and go to yank everything because people are to own nothing, you're going to have a hard time. I absolutely outright own everything I own. I don't own a house, but I own my property.
The same. I
Facts.
never got a credit card. One of the first things my father taught me when I was young, when I was about my son's age actually, He
And
got
what's
a
the one thing
credit.
they're pushing everybody to do right now is to max out your credit. And here's a new line of credit, and we'll give you emergency credit to help you with COVID
Yes,
this and
yes.
this for that. And here in
No, and
Canada,
it goes
we'll
far
help you
beyond
get
that.
a brand new car. What?
No,
Every Canadian citizen will help you get a brand new car. Yeah, that I can imagine what kind of terms are on that kind of a loan.
Yeah, I don't want it.
No, I don't want it. First of all, it'll probably be forced to be one of those stupid electric fucking pieces of shit. Because they're pushing for
It,
that by 2035 here. They all have to be. And we don't have the
it,
grid for it. So that tells me that they're expensive. So not everybody's going to be able to afford it, which means they're expecting most people to just not own a car.
I don't know.
That's how they're going to
I'll
solve
ride,
that because they're not rushing to build the grid.
I'll ride a pig. I don't care. I'm fucking cowboy up. I'll ride a pig.
I'm just trying to figure out
right?
exactly
Just be
when
chill.
is the right pullout time for me from my city because my city signed up for the 15-minute city stupid dealy thing. And they're slowly working it into the lingo and get everybody excited for it and all this stuff. And they're putting in the bike lanes and the bus routes and whatnot. And I'm like, okay, so what's the right timing
They
to just
put in a
yank
lot
out
of
and go?
roundabouts too. Huh.
Oh, hey, Cammy, I'll tell you something. My town built like a $10 million bridge about 10 years ago, and it was just for a bike path or something, right?
Mhm.
I've never in my life seen anyone use it.
It's going to be for the bike police
The
that
bike
have the
lane?
15-minute city because they're
Yo,
not going to be
no,
driving
no, no,
cars.
no, no. I'm sorry. This is hilarious. I was always just sitting here in
And
his
we
town, like
have bike police
out
there.
here, Brainerd, right? There's these like bike lanes. It's funny. I
Mhm.
remember going up and down. He's just said that. I ain't ever seen nobody on that thing. That thing is
No,
hilarious.
it's going to
Oh
be
my
for the only
goodness. I
people
always
that use
thought
our
that.
bike lanes are the bike thieves
It's like 200 miles long.
and the
But I've
police.
never
I kept
seen
thinking
anyone
about that every time I passed that.
You know what I
We have
noticed?
something
That
called the Trans Canada Trail. It runs from one end of Canada to the other end of Canada. It's a bike lane.
That sounds cool.
you know
That
what
sounds
I
cool.
noticed years ago, and I still don't understand why they put these in. But all over the state of Wisconsin, when you merge onto the highway, they put this.
Roundabouts?
No. I'm talking about when you merge onto the highway system. When you take that merge, they have these railroad type things that bars that come down now to
was
stop you.
just going to say that, Patrick.
Well,
Haven't
it's
you
Yeah,
because they're
noticed?
controlling who can go through the intersection.
Hey, hush. Haven't you noticed all of the bike paths actually go parallel to the railroad tracks? It's so they can make us walk to our own doom. Walk to your boxcar, motherfucker.
Nobody remembers all of the horrors that happened that time, so we're going to be repeating a lot of the same process again. And I don't know how many times we've done this, and it saddens my heart that we have to do it again because each time we're more brutal.
You don't sadden mine. It pisses me off. And that's what more men need to do is get mad at this. And then it'll end.
yeah.
Yeah, well, I can't have manly madness because I'm not a man. I don't have any testicles or a penis.
All
I'm
you
sorry.
can do is think
Oh
about
my
it.
goodness. No, look,
Well, I can do supporting roles and all sorts of things. Don't get me wrong. I'm a dead-eye shot, but
Load the
I wouldn't go
ammunition.
running out and throw myself as fodder to at the beginning either. I'm smart enough to pick targets and shoot from hiding spots and actually
Hey, Tammy,
private.
if you're a decent, good lady, you'll load the ammunition and you'll give us a kick out the door.
Well, I would, except for there's no guy here. That's why I still have to go to work and pay my own rent. I keep getting people going, oh, you're such an independent lady, you're this, you're that. And I look at them and I go, are you kidding? I would love to be a pampered fucking housewife. I want to be able to have the option to go to the beach in the summer, but I don't
I
have
know.
that. So I'm doing what I have to do. Like, if
I'll
the
take
right
you
guy
to the
comes
beach.
along and I'm presented with the opportunity to be a pampered housewife and stay home and take care of the house and cook, I'm doing that.
I had that conversation with my son earlier. I told him what I was going to do. I think they kicked us all off, Cammy. But I told the boy, I think, I can't say what I said,
It
but
says we're in the show. They kicked themselves off.
apparently it's kind of what you said. You'd love to just be pampered. It's like, that's what I decide to do. Why not? Told the boy I'll buy him another 100 acres in Alaska. After I'm dead, he can go develop that. But we're just gonna have fun. Because I don't think I'll be here for 10 years. So I'm just gonna try to enjoy my time.
You're here for as long as God wants you.
Yeah, but at
Not
the
a moment
same time, yeah, you're right. You probably make me suffer and live 20 years. But I don't even know if we have tomorrow. You know what I mean?
We don't know if we have next minute.
No. And you went silent.
I just went to the bathroom.
Oh, yeah, I don't want to hear you pissing. That wouldn't be cool.
Good, because I don't want you to hear me piss.
Oh, let me hear now. Come on, let's make this weird. Okay.
I'm glad you listen to the water run when I wash my hands.
Sorry, the technical
You
difficulty.
gotta stick around, Pat, because this channel is getting really weird.
What?
I said you gotta stick around because your channel is getting really weird.
Joe
Yeah,
wanted
no,
to hear me.
I just had some technical difficulties, but I want to tell you guys something that I thought of while this was
God,
going
you
on.
knew what was happening.
What?
I said, thank God you didn't see what was happening.
Why? What was happening?
I ain't gonna repeat it.
Okay. Yeah, I
We'll just
missed
leave,
whatever
we'll just
happened.
leave,
Huh?
we'll leave it at that. Oh, welcome back, Campy.
I'm back.
Okay, so I missed whatever happened,
So
but
it's Thomas.
please let me say something. This I want everybody to, if they are willing to do it, say a prayer for my brother, Jim Chucker Jim. He has been diagnosed with possibly losing his leg. They found some gangrene in his foot, and so I don't know quite exactly what is the procedure. Do they take the whole leg? Do they take just the foot? Is it that bad to where if they dose him right now, they're dosing him with heavy antibiotics and stuff to try to kill what happened. I guess he had an ulcer in his foot for about 4 months, and it has now turned gangrene. So, if people would say a prayer for him, I appreciate it.
It bums me out.
Yeah, yeah, I feel bad for him. He's been through a lot. We all have, but he has definitely been through a lot in the last few years. So,
Well, I said a prayer while you were talking, Patrick, so I'm sorry to hear it.
thank you.
And I really do pray that God cuts that shit right off his foot without him noticing.
Right, yeah. He just got done with surviving a heart attack and having surgery, heart surgery, and now this.
Yeah, I know. Yep. Sorry to hear that. But at the same time, I'm not going to be too concerned because I do believe God can rip that whatever off his foot instantaneously without him noticing. So
Yeah,
I'll keep a positive spirit up for him, buddy.
yeah, I believe
And
that too.
I'll just do that. I don't want to think about the other.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
that's my guy right there.
so I did give him a Nets information because the Nets got some, I believe, some good information on how to do. Of course, I believe obviously what Joe Dirt was saying, that God can fix anything, obviously, but it doesn't hurt to try on your end to do what you can do. You know, uh, you know what I'm saying. To do for
Hey,
yourself,
Patrick, God can put a doctor in front of you too.
right?
You never worry about how you get healed.
We got to stop trying
And
to control it and just ask for God to do it.
yeah,
Yeah,
and the
right,
doctor could be the instrument of the Lord pretty
right.
easily.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Because one
Obviously,
person's
he
miracle
he
might be
was
another person's saving grace, too.
obviously he was there when I had my kidney failure, because that doctor that I talked to when I was on the operating table, and I popped up and I had a conversation with this doctor. I was how I don't know how I could have done it, because I had the breathing tube already insulated into me. So there wasn't any way that I could actually have a conversation with this doctor. But he appeared in my room and he said to me, "We had a problem on the table, didn't we?" And I was like, "Wow, he knows." I thought it could have been a dream, right? It could have been a dream, but he just made it reality when he asked me. So he, like, what the I don't know what happened. All I can say is that he was a he was like an angel, because he also told me that if I plan on having heart problems in the future, to stay on the blood pressure medication I was on. Otherwise, get your butt off the blood pressure medication, which was I probably shouldn't say on here because it could be medical misinformation. Um, but anyways, so I got took myself off it actually. I continued to take it a little while longer because it for years, because I wasn't sure if this doctor was giving me the right advice. But then I thought, he saved me in the room, and he had this conversation with me when there's really no way I could have had the conversation with him because I had a tube down my throat. So maybe this guy knows what he's talking about. So I finally took myself off the blood medication this summer, and I've had the best blood pressure I've had since my early 20s. So, yeah, you never know when the doctor can be inserted in your life, you know.
Exactly. You never know who you're running into from any moment in time. It could be a guardian angel,
Hmm.
and that's why they tell you to treat everybody well.
And that's so
You
weird.
never
I
know who
only
you're
seen
dealing with.
this doctor. I only seen this doctor the one time in the operating table, and then right after when I came out of my coma, I seen him then. But after that, I never seen him. I always look. I would talk to different doctors, and that never hit me back. I never realized like, hey, this is that doctor that they show on the movies, right? That comes in a miracle, performs a miracle, and then
And it's gone. And
yeah, says
everybody's
it's
like,
been
well, do you
gone.
remember seeing him? Well, yeah, but where'd he go? I don't know. Nobody
Yeah,
knows his name.
yeah, right.
Yeah. He was in the coat, so we just assumed he was a doctor.
Yeah, right. But I think about that often. Like how could I have had that? Even if I had dreamt it, that would have
He was
been my.
really good at talking mumble, like dentists are really good at talking to you when you have that thing in your mouth. He's just good at talking ventilator too.
Yeah, but I was sitting up. I had sat up and turned around and faced him, and I was literally having a
Well, that's why it was a problem because you probably ripped out all the tubes.
but not the creepy tube I didn't rip out.
No,
And
probably out of the machine. And you were
I
just
was,
groggy enough that you didn't realize you were trying to talk with a tube down your throat.
yeah, right.
Hey, my mom was so out of it at the hospital. She was talking to me about the bee that was up in the corner of her room. There was no bee. And the babies of the babies of the babies of the babies. Okay.
Oh, hey, prelim is in the chat. Hey, prelim,
Hey, prelim.
abstract. I didn't know that you had that
Rally.
abstract as a.
What do you do?
Uh, the if anything, I think I gained weight. I don't think I lost weight. Of course, I am getting a lot of exercise with the bar. I mean, it's like tearing me apart.
Doggy trap.
I feel like I'm slowly
Honestly,
dying, to be
I
honest
think
with
it's
you.
because you shaved.
Huh?
I think it's just because you shaved.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Come on,
Right.
bad joke. At least I threw a joke out there.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
You're
Oh,
not Canadian, Patrick, to
I,
understand the joke.
what, eh?
Hey.
Yeah, that sounds right. You're getting closer.
Actually, we're so close to Canada. We have picked up that A. I don't say it all the time, but I notice that sometimes I do.
You're not going to get a Minnesotan to
You do
talk about
actually.
that. Know it.
So like, right? Yeah, and you're not as far up north. That's for sure.
No, but I'm
Right?
pretty.
Yeah.
You guys heard me in private. I'm kind of hard to understand some days.
Eh?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, I hear you say a lot behind your sentences. You remind me of the Mackenzie brothers.
Yeah, I know. I love that Bruce story.
Yeah,
What,
you want to
wasn't
go
that
play some hockey?
yeah, the hockey game.
Wait until
Yeah,
you read through the feed.
yeah. What's that called again? I forgot. Canadian
Uh,
bacon? No, no,
I
no.
don't know.
Strange. It was called Strange Brew.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I remember. I've only seen it 100 times.
yep,
My
strange brew.
favorite is when you finally meet a Canadian, which they come from
Yeah.
Eastern Canada, usually Newfoundland, that actually
Hey,
have the conversation where 90% of the conversation is yeah, no, no, yeah, yeah, no, no, yeah, yeah, eh? And
Cammy, can I
people
tell you?
understand that.
Hey, you know, what one of my retirement dreams was for 20 years. and I'd tell the old man when he was around, and I'd tell my mom, and I'd tell everyone, I'm gonna marry a 300-pound Canadian woman with fucking 600 acres, and that'll be my retirement dream. That's what I used to say.
Well, there's not too many 300-pound Canadian women that would own 300 acres.
Well, yeah, that's the problem. But I'm still looking for my special girl.
There's lots of
Some
women that have
days
300 acres. They're just not 300 pounds.
some
Because if
days
they have
I
300
do feel
acres,
like
they're in much better shape.
some days
Like
I
that.
do feel like a robot, and I
Typical about it.
have to be oiled up. You know,
Yeah,
like
let's not get typical.
get some oil in the fucking joints back here.
No, I said that. I said that from my 20s to my 40s. I really did. Because my uncles would always ask me, "Are you preparing for your
I have women in
retirement?"
my family that fit most of that.
I was gonna marry a 300-pound Canadian woman.
I haven't seen them in several years, so they might be 300 pounds now, but there are females in my family that have acreage up north.
No, I don't know.
They got
I
it for
thought
cheap. They lucked out and bought it for $1 an acre.
leave it to the girl to make it all technical. I'm not looking to dot the T's. I'm just looking for the dream.
Just saying. I
Happy
can't
New
fulfill the whole dream because I don't know if she's 300 pounds. She has acreage.
Year.
She also
God,
has
I love
money
you.
with
I
like
love you.
7 children. That might be an issue.
You guys, I love you guys.
I wish I was around when she was buying land.
Nah, I love you, bro.
Crazy
Yeah.
son of bitches.
I would
You
have
guys
loved to
don't.
get acreage for $1 an acre.
Oh,
I
you
could
got
come up
it.
with $300.
I'll,
That's not
I'll,
good.
I'll spread my net, and I'll hope for 400 pounds. I'll spread my net and hope for 400. Come on.
Oh man, this stuff is some of the grossest shit out there.
Well, if you don't care about species and are willing to go up to 1,200 pounds, there's probably polar bears out there that have more than that in acreage.
honestly, I'm slightly racist. I kind of was looking at moose.
Moose? Oh, moose. Yeah, about 1,200 pounds still, but I don't know how much acreage they own. They go wherever the fuck they want, though. They don't need to own it.
They own the most. They
They just
own the
own
most.
everything. Let me tell you, I know that they don't own the roads, but when there's a moose on the road, everybody just lets them have the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But come on, have you seen these things? I ain't
They
never seen
briefly
one. That
tried to
shit
ride
is
them with the police. The police had
no.
Canadian mounted moose, but they didn't work out well.
I guarantee you, I've never met a moose trap, but if I ever did, it would be instant love.
If you ever met a moose and got close to it, you would shit your
Well,
pants.
I know,
Yeah.
right? That fucker
It would
would
be the
kick
best
me.
experience you had before you shit your pants, but you'd still shit
Well,
your
I
pants.
gotta tell you, it has been
I
nice
wouldn't want
talking to you all, but I'm going to.
that's
Bye.
tired.
See you later.
Patrick,
No,
Sorry,
uh,
but
Pat, we ate your
it's.
stream.
I'm glad that we were able to connect. What?
hey, Patrick, if you're gonna knock the stream off, I'll go off too. Then I do love you, buddy. I
No,
miss
wait,
you.
wait, 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 wait. I'm not quite going right now.
Man, I would have
You're
to be
good.
out here by myself. It's all
No, you're
good.
good. Good, Joe. We're not quite leaving just yet. Within
No
the
doubt.
hour though, that's all I'm saying.
Love you, Pat.
It's all good.
Love you too, Joe, man. You're the best. This is I can vouch for you, man. You're one hard working dude, and you are one a very nice guy. I mean,
Hey,
said,
did you watch that 30-second video of the pond?
yeah, yeah, that
Yeah,
was pretty
It did
good.
change everything, man.
Yeah,
man,
yeah, it
that
That
shit
looked.
was
changed,
beautiful,
I
yeah,
saw it,
that
but
bro.
I had
changed.
no reference,
Bro,
so I just saw it.
Yeah,
bro, that shit was beautiful. Oh my goodness,
I didn't know how we were gonna do it, but we just kept trying, man.
I can't wait to go fishing
yo,
Well, they want to go
or
to.
swimming.
yeah.
Is it mainly going to be a swimming hole or a fishing hole?
I'm gonna put
It's
wild
fishing,
rice in
bro.
it.
Wow.
Oh,
Oh,
right,
okay.
yes, you told me that.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Word.
Put wild rice in it.
There you go.
I was going to say it can be rice or cranberries.
Fish. I can go a half mile left or right. I got 2 lakes next to my property. I can fish. Trust me.
Hmm.
Ooh,
So
free
I'll
shopping
go
of
Yeah,
wild fish.
there are lakes over there. Yeah,
half
It
mile
Yeah.
just means all
ways.
your stockfish are free.
And each one of the lakes is almost 1,000 foot deep. I mean, they're deepest lakes in Minnesota.
Oh, and nets that
You
I'm thinking about
know that.
visiting
You
Grand
the
I'm
Prairie.
deepest.
wondering if it's not
Which one? Which
prevalent
one?
for
Which
you
one?
to have a few fish in your pond to eat mosquito larvae.
oh no,
Which ones
that
you talking
I'll
about? Are you
trust.
talking?
Yeah, you can take me to the Grand
Trust the
Marias.
ducks. They'll eat the mosquitoes.
Are they
Oh yeah.
the two? Are they the two long lakes that you're talking about over there, or you mean like
Yeah. I
Mille
guess
Lacs
it
or
would look
something?
like yeah, yeah. South lawn,
The long
north
lake.
lawn. Yep.
Yo, I
Upper
went
and
right
lower.
over there the other time, and yeah,
They actually call it upper and lower. That's what they call the 2 lakes
yeah,
here. Upper and lower.
When I get a place to put my pond in, I'm putting goldfish in it for the mosquitoes.
And they
The reason why
eat
I'm
the
picking goldfish is because they can freeze.
I mean, there's not actually much deeper in Minnesota except for like Lake Superior. So these are some deep
exactly.
canyon. Yeah, yeah, they're deep.
Yeah, I kind of
It's
thought
like
that that was
Loch
the
Ness.
case. I looked at it.
Lived there my whole life, and I've never seen Loch Ness. And I've never seen Nessie.
Aw.
You ever seen what?
Loch Ness monster.
Did you go and sing to her and say,
Oh,
come out wherever you are?
No, actually, you want to know the truth, Cammy? I've never actually fished on the lake that I've been on for 40 years, and I've never
for real?
swam in it.
No?
Yeah, it goes
Exactly.
somewhere.
I'm not trying to swim in it.
It's weird, but
Yeah,
I've taken care of the lake for at least 15 years of my life. I mean, raked fucking over 1,000 feet of shore, did all that for over 15 years, and I still never fished or swam in that lake. I always went somewhere else.
right.
Don't ask
Yo,
me
That
like for
because
why.
you knew
some
what
reason,
was in the lake.
Yeah, don't ask me why
yeah,
I did that. No, but I just never did.
You didn't want to enjoy the fruits of your labor.
No, I did not, and that is the truth, Cammy.
So was it because you were punishing yourself, or was it?
Definitely, probably a little bit of that.
Yeah, we are our own worst enemy and our worst critic.
Yeah, and I never dreamed I'd be where I am either. That was by God's hand. That was all God. Yeah, I had nothing to do with
The
it.
only thing I had right from when I planned out my life is I thought I'd have a son, and I have a son. So that part I got right. Everything else, and
mm,
everything else wrong. But am I upset about it? No. Because
Yeah,
I'm thinking about the pain and torture that I would be in if I had to rip myself away from that life right now. Would be so much harder.
I have moments in my life to where I think if I could ever redo it all again, I would just go on a fucking cruise.
Well,
You know what I mean?
that's because you're thinking that you'd know what was coming. Unfortunately, if we had to do it all over again, we'd have no clue and pick all the same stupid choices.
You ain't gonna stop it. You might as well enjoy it.
Yeah. But it's like at this point, that's what I've done is I've stopped fighting against it, and I'm practicing on how to do what I keep telling everybody: be the reed, but be flexible so you can bend and let the shit flow past.
Yeah.
Because you got to be firm in your standing so that they can't sway you from your
A really nice way
heart
of saying that
core
is a
love of
really
God. But you
hold
got to
on,
let a lot of this just flow
hold
by
on.
because.
A really nice way of saying the bathroom's on the left.
Or my other favorite saying, not my circus, not my monkeys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't take them on. And we have a bad habit of taking on other people's circuses and monkeys.
At all. I think it takes longer for women to learn that than it does for men. I think most men figure it out about 30 years old. I think most women figure it out almost at maybe 50. It takes women like 20 years to figure out. Just leave it alone if it ain't broke.
And sometimes, even if it is broke, if it's not yours, don't worry about it.
And that's why it takes you an extra 20 years. Because we don't really give a shit.
The sad part is it's the difference between how guys' brains are wired and how girls' brains are wired to think about things. Guys have categories and boxes, I like to call them, where you have topics
Happy New Year,
and
Bebop.
then that's in that topic, whatever thing. But girls attach things to other things and figure out how everything affects each other. So their brains just are in a constant state of trying to figure shit out. And it takes a
That's
long
the
time to learn to
that's
switch that off.
years. Holy shit. I think by what you just said, you absolutely confirmed women are slow.
Not slow. We're wired differently. We are set to run on a completely different set of things. You guys need to be logical and concise, and like your lives depend on being able to make a split-second decision without putting much feelings into it. Whereas if it was up to a woman to fight that bear and she took into consideration that she might be hurting the bear, she's going to be dead. So there's a logical reason for you guys to be wired differently because you can't always take into consideration that you might hurt the animal or you might,
Me
because like
caveman, me
you
feed
have to if you
family,
want food.
me go out and kill.
I love rousing
And
Cammy up.
women
I
needed
think
that to take care of children because otherwise you'd smother them.
Me man, you woman, you stay home. You be
now
pregnant woman,
we come
stay
back to
home.
the original. Now we
You
come back to the original
barefoot it.
thing. If I had to do it all
You
over
ain't going
again,
nowhere.
I'd shove them all back up and I'd go on a cruise.
Good night, Ned. We're all heading to bed ourselves, or at least I am. I'm
Hey,
heading to
good
bed.
night. Thanks a lot, buddy.
Yeah, thank you, Joe, for coming on.
I think when we age out, instead of
Rest
going to
well.
retirement homes, we should go on cruises because they cost about the same amount of money and you get way better entertainment, food, and doctors on a cruise than you do at a retirement home,
I
and
would
way
love
less
to go
money.
on a cruise.
Yeah, one of my
What
uncles does it. He has a blast. He's been on one for like 5, 6 years. He has a blast.
And if you'd like colder weather, you take the Alaskan cruises and stuff up on the north end. And if you don't like cold, then you stick around the Caribbean because that's where you have usually the calmest seas with the nice warm weather and whatnot. You don't have to deal
I
with the
just
rocky
wanted to go
boats and big
to
waves and shit. That's where
England.
the old people usually go.
Uh,
And you just
Hey,
avoid the storm season. That's when you take a different cruise.
about what we're talking about,
No, I can't
I can tell you, buddy,
move
within
around too
3
much. There.
3 years, Pat, I'm gonna buy my boat and I'm gonna make that American loop up the East
Yes,
Coast
I'm
down
gonna.
the Mississippi. I'd
yeah.
like it if you showed up for a month or two
Parker
and
shit
hung
at the
out.
fucking fucking.
Heck yeah.
I
What?
really
Yeah,
would. I mean,
for
that's
sure.
Parker
considering
shit's
the
on.
world forgives us. But if the world don't forgive us, then that's a pop shit dream. But
Yeah, I
if
can't hear
the
what you're saying, Trev.
You say what?
if the
You trying to
world
hear me?
Did you say something?
I just started moving, so I'm saying like, you know, whatever I was parked, and I heard something when I was parked too, right? I heard something right when I just like put it in park after a little bit, and then as I just like went to go, I heard it again, so I pulled over. So something I got to look at it, can't see underneath. Just was I don't know. It came loose or some shit, like it's hanging. So I gotta see what that is.
Huh.
Hopefully
And then I gotta
nobody
get gas
stole your
anyway.
catalytic converter.
You say
Yeah,
what?
well, hopefully everything's okay.
But I hope they didn't like get under his vehicle and cut off his catalytic converter. That's like 600
Cut it
bucks.
off.
But Happy New Year to y'all, and
Happy New Year.
thanks for coming on. And
So cut it off. No, 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 no.
No, don't
Hold
cut
up.
it off.
bringing us
How does that
together.
shit look? If that wait, how you get? Okay, never mind. I'm gonna look at it. I gotta get gas anyway.
Hmm.
It'll be the device underneath your vehicle. And if it's
Well,
cut off,
yeah,
you'll be missing a piece and you'll see two pieces that should be connected to something and it won't be. So pretty easy to notice if there's a piece missing.
yeah. Keep us in
It's just
well,
expensive
keep
because
in
it has a
touch and
little
let
bit of
us
gold
know
in it.
how
And
you're
so that's why
doing.
they steal it and
If
copper.
anything's
And
Yeah,
wrong
I
with
know
your
that.
vehicle.
go
Nah,
ahead, Patrick.
So
it looks like
chat,
something
everybody
else.
that hung with us this long, 3.5 hours. Congrats to you guys. You guys are number one, right?
No, we
Might
still
actually
got survivors.
I might actually go back upstairs and tell this guy.
But take care, everyone, and have a happy new year.